Yo, 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 what is going on, you guys? Welcome back to another live stream. I hope you guys are all having a beautiful Sunday morning or afternoon, wherever you guys are. I'm so happy y'all are here on this live stream that we got going today. Guys, this is going to be a very, very special episode. This past weekend has been quite interesting, surprisingly. So if you guys have not been keeping up with the news, we will be going over many things. I do also want to mention we are going to be having some very special guests on the show. And God, I don't know. The past few days have absolutely been nuts. Please let me know how this audio system is, you guys. Please let me know how this sounds. If it's too loud, I can turn things down. Man, first of all, I missed you guys. It's only been maybe like 24 hours or so, but it seems like it's been a while since we last spoke. So thank you to the 2,000 plus viewers that we got in here on a Sunday morning. Now, Monday is definitely going to be a big day. Many people are waiting for the market to open, and it's gonna be a little crazy tomorrow. So some people are thinking about doing the unthinkable, which is selling. And other people are continuing to hold their ground and supporting the movement over this past weekend with a variety and combination of beautiful memes that I've never laughed so hard in my life about. We are seeing a pretty good threshold in terms of the value and the entertainment that we're seeing from this entire, I would say, phenomenon. So, guys, what is up, y'all? What is up? Okay, so I got a night bot. Oh my gosh, my bad, you guys. I got a bot activated in the chat just to try out, and it looks like it's timing everyone out. Let me turn off that bot because it is messing things up. So there are going to be some technical difficulties in this stream, just like we've had, but I will do my best in order to move around that. And guys, I'm sorry if the bot is wrecking you. Nightbot, what are you doing? I thought you were here to help me as a friend, man. So we do have a few guests lined up for this show today. We do have Meet Kevin. I believe he has over 1 million subscribers now, absolutely crushing it. He has been with me in terms of coverage for the stimulus check and now talking about the recent events with Gamestop, AMC, and much more. Kevin is someone I look up to, and I will get him on here a little bit shortly. So, Kevin, if you're listening to this, don't worry, man. You're good. You're good. So, we're just going to do a little bit of an introduction on where we are in terms of the price. I'm going to turn off the Nightbot on my channel, okay? Because I thought it was going to do good, but it looks like it's timing a lot of you guys out. So I don't want that. I want everyone to be able to communicate and put their thoughts into the stream. So just give me a little bit. All right, so Nightbot is out of here. Nightbot is out of here. Thank you guys so much for the early donos. $4.99 from the Waltman, $5 from Dobro Slab. And you guys, you want to hear the craziest thing that I've learned over this past weekend? Well, we're going to learn a lot of crazy things. But right here, in terms of the audience, 30% of my viewers are from the US. We have almost every country in the world watching this live stream. So there's no other country that competes in the US in the analytics that I saw in the last 7 days. It's been like 0.3% Netherlands, 0.3% Korea, 0.3% Canada, UK, Europe. So many countries, guys. Germany, guys. This is literally, we're getting people from all around the world viewing this live stream. So whatever country you're in, comment it down below. Okay, I know a lot of us like to think like this is only based on the U.S., but oh my goodness, this is going on everywhere, all around the world. It's crazy. I even saw, guys, I saw Alaska. I was gonna say Antarctica. I don't think I saw Antarctica. I saw Alaska on there. What country are you guys from? Oh my goodness, chat is going crazy. So right now, we got 6,682 viewers. Hey, guys, if you're joining this live stream, go ahead and drop a like. My name is Brian. I am no one special. I think I need to mention that for anyone who's new because we're getting so many views. Last time we made a video like this, we had 500,000 views. I never thought I would see anything like that on the channel ever in my life. It's scary having this many people watching me, but I'm going to do my best in order to make sure that you guys are heard. And I do want to emphasize, I don't even want to say that I'm the voice of the people at all. Hopefully, though, I can share with other people what the perception and the cause actually is. I'm not leading anyone. I'm not the voice. Don't look at me like that, guys. I'm just a regular dude who just decided to go live, and people are now watching. So thank you all so much for all this, and the chat is crazy fast today. I think because we didn't go live yesterday, that you guys were more anxious to join today. So regardless of whichever direction this goes, I hope you all know, and a disclaimer here, I do have positions with AMC, I do have positions with Blackberry, and I do plan on adding a new position that you guys have been spamming me with. So I may put in another $10,000 into this opening Monday. If I do that, we will do it together. If I take a loss in anything, we're going to be doing that together as well. So that's just been the motto of the way we've been taking this entire movement. As someone who has this platform now, it doesn't change my actions at all. This is something I've intended to do. I have my own price target. Make sure you keep watching when we start analyzing these stocks in order for you guys to understand what my price target is for AMC, when I plan on exiting, and why. So I know I have another live stream set up known as, in the thumbnail is Endgame. I don't think the game is ending on Monday at all. I do need to change that thumbnail. But the reason why I have that is because all the Avenger memes I was watching on Instagram that you guys are sending me, go on my Instagram, okay? If you guys haven't followed me there yet, I've been posting so much about this whole situation. So my Instagram is Credit Brian. It's linked down below in the description alongside other links that you guys can check out. Big disclaimer, I'm not a financial advisor. Check out the bottom left of the screen. I'm just a regular guy. Let's just say I'm completely wrong with everything. Don't listen to me and assume that I know nothing at all about what I'm talking about, okay? I'm not a financial advisor. I don't want to be held liable for any of the actions made within the next few weeks. But here's what I'll tell you. I do have a strong personal belief in this movement. I think it goes way more than just a ordinary short squeeze. So if you guys align with that at all, I think that's why we've been getting so many views. I think the people, you guys just really understand and can feel my energy too, even when sometimes I'm not able to portray it properly through my words. And I know there are times on the stream when I got real pissed off, whether it was Robinhood or the manipulation that we've seen in the stock market. I think we've really grown together in just the past week. So if you guys are new and if you guys have just discovered me, I want to say thank you all so much. If you're a beginner investor, if this is the first time you're really getting into things, I just want to say welcome. And I also do want to make another mention here. Regardless of whichever direction this goes, I really hope that many of the people that stick through this and have learned something continue to pursue their financial journey in trying to better themselves and trying to educate yourself. And that's what it's all about. Even if you're unable to make money off the trades, hypothetically, whichever direction this goes, which I don't think is going to happen, I think people are going to make a lot of money. Whichever direction this goes, I hope, I really do hope, a lot of you guys will stick with the fundamentals that we teach on these live streams with all the very, very smart and experienced, a lot of millionaires on this live show too, that have made a lot of money from their stock portfolio. Guys, you don't have to get lucky once in the market. Over time, you can compound the amount of money you make in order to see a significant return. That's the biggest mic drop right there. Please continue educating yourself. As someone with a platform now, that is going to be what I plan on doing in order to help you guys and make sure things are easy to understand. I want to make sure that everyone who hears about investing or Wall Street bets, that you do have a solid fundamental in order to grow your money. Okay, I listen here, guys. Born out of the Maryland area. My parents moved here from Korea before I was born. It was tough for them as first-generation immigrant parents, and for me, it was tough. The 2008 financial crisis wrecked my family. I grew up my entire life struggling financially. I never would have thought that I'd be in this position I am now. I actually wanted to be in a different profession at the time. So, guys, I was going to join the military. I wanted to be a pro rugby player at one point. I really like fishing. I wanted to be a pro fisherman. As crazy as it sounds, but now we have this platform right here, and over the past few years, I've just learned how important it is to educate yourself in the terms of finances and investing. So guys, you can make a lot of money in the course of your lifetime. You don't have to go and score big, even though it's amazing, and even though that's what I'm trying to do right now too. But if you just keep on reinvesting, you will see a big return, and I think that'll be awesome. Shout out to the DMV stand up. I be seeing those comments right there. Okay, guys, so to move forward with this, we have 10,000 people in this room. If it's the first time you're seeing me on this live stream, make sure you guys go ahead and subscribe to this channel. I'm so happy that you're part of this family here. Follow me over on Instagram and Twitter at Credit Brian, Instagram, and then Credit Brian, and then Twitter is Brian Credit. Someone took Credit Brian. I wish they gave it to me. So Credit Brian, Brian Credit. I also have additional links down below in the description if you guys want to go check that out. They're all going to be free stocks. So Webull is down there. We have crypto. Coinbase is down there. We have Cash App, $10. And on top of that, I do have a huge disclaimer on Robinhood. And I feel like we got to get started with that too. For anyone who doesn't know, I was partnered up with Robinhood prior to this movement. And it's been very challenging for me because you know everything what's going on, and I can't disclose some of the conversations I am having with Robinhood's team, but I did have a one-on-one phone call with Robinhood's CMO, and there's a chance that someone else on the C team may do something. I can't disclose much. So that's all I'm gonna say. You guys take it for whatever it is, but subscribe to this channel because we may have some significant people on this live. So if you're a part of the comments and this goes on the news, because there's a strong possibility that may happen, listen up. Y'all are going to be a part of history. Y'all can tell your children, your future grandchildren that live right there or this moment, I was in that live stream. I commented that. That was my super chat that he mentioned right there. So we do have one guest waiting in here. I know you guys are super excited for him. He is absolutely a legend, and I think most of you guys may know who this is going to be. This is someone I've actually looked up to for quite a long time. No one I know has a work ethic parallel to this man right here. So if you guys are ready for this, smash the like button down below, and let's get this legend in here. Kevin, how's the audio?
Brian. Hey, it's great. Thank you.
Kevin, what the heck? We are seeing Meet Kevin on this channel. This is absolutely crazy. Kevin, thank you so much for reaching out and setting this up, man. I was actually like taken back when I first saw your email because I never would have imagined that we would be doing something like this ever.
Absolutely. No, I think it's wonderful. You know, the YouTube community is one that just gets better the more we collaborate and share ideas. And I think it's wonderful because all of the users benefit. And thank you for that intro music. That was really cool. I got to I should do that. That's cool. Did you do that?
Yeah, so
I like that.
I got a couple sound effects that I downloaded. I made sure I fast forward just a little so YouTube doesn't just slap me in the face with that copyright. So a little trick right there, and just keep it under a couple seconds. But yeah, people are loving the sound effects, and I know you got the hammer back there. So I'm assuming that you know a little bit about Marvel as well. So I think it just makes sense in order to get that sound clip in there for a legend just like you. So Kev, man,
that's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, man, we got a lot to talk about, man. Well, first of all, I'm sure the whole world already knows who you are. You were featured on CNBC. You've had many large publications, and you recently just got verified and had a nice birthday, I hope. How did that all go just now?
Thank you. Yeah, it's really crazy. I mean, honestly, Instagram should be verifying people much more quickly than they do because there's so many scammers, especially in the YouTube bots going around in the comments, and on Instagram it's the same thing. But yeah, I mean, I guess with how hard they do make it on Instagram, it's definitely a special feeling. So it was great. You know, birthday. I pretty much worked all day though because we've been talking about GME and GameStop. Well, same thing here, and the Robinhood crisis, which as I came into the waiting room here, I was listening to you talk about Robinhood. And yeah, I mean, it is such a complicated spot that they're in. And, you know, it sounds like you were one of their sponsored, you know, individuals as well. And now we're in this weird spot where it's Robinhood used to be something that was really fun and exciting to sponsor. And now it's you get hate. And I get it because there are some big issues that came up with Robinhood. I mean, I think we need a lot more clarity from them. What are you expecting to hear from them?
Yeah, Kev. So, man, with Robinhood, I have been reaching out to my point of contact, which was an account manager that they had. And Kev, man, I don't even know where to start with them. So it puts us in a tough situation. I know that you recently signed. Were you exclusive with them as well too prior to this starting?
Yeah, I mean it's a little complicated, all the details that go around it, but it is something where it's like when you sign up and you make an agreement with a company, you do kind of you associate your brand with them, right? And so that creates some complications when like they just started this promo. What did they start this like? Was it the 21st or something like that? They started this program, and then it's like, oh my gosh, on the 28th, this happens like literally within a week. Like, why couldn't it have happened with Weeble? Not that I want, anything bad to happen with Weeble, but it's like, like we just started those partnerships. You know what I mean? It's like, oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Kev, that's pretty much spot on, man. So as people who have been on YouTube, as great as Robinhood is, and they're an established brand, we ourselves have been working extremely hard in order to build our own personal brand. And this is not something we can detach away from. This is our face, this is our life, this is what pretty much feeds our families right now. So when a corporation goes ahead and makes a mistake, it not only affects the people in the business itself, but anyone tied and related to that and have vouched for them. And that's what we did. I've been using Robinhood since I was in high school. I've loved their app. It's simple, easy to use. And even right now in 2021 with Public, SoFi, and all these other apps, Robinhood is still so easy to navigate. And I hate that they're doing so well in that industry, because I feel like with all the decisions they're making, it puts us in a tough spot. We like their app, that we wouldn't promote things we wouldn't use. We wouldn't promote things that we wouldn't like. We like their app. We just absolutely hate, and I hope I'm speaking on behalf of, or I can't speak on the behalf of Kevin, but this is how I feel. I just hate that the decision that they made. I hate what they did, man.
Yeah, it is very frustrating because I'll tell you, this sounds so stupid, but I never bought options before with Weeble, and I went in the other day on a live stream to go buy options on Weeble to buy GameStop call options, and I'm like, all right, call options on GME, we're going to the moon, and I execute the trade and I update my phone. It's much more complicated. I mean, you get used to it. Once you get used to it on Weeble, it works well as well. But it was accidentally, when it went through, I looked at it, I'm like, oh my God, I just bought a put. Like, no. It was totally the opposite of what I meant to buy. And when you're doing it on Robinhood to buy an option, it's so much more clear whether you're buying a put or call. Weeble, it's like this tiny little button that just flips on or off whether it's put or call, and I'm like, oops. So yeah, that's something that is that'll definitely be missed at Robinhood, and hopefully Robinhood can clarify what's going on. I heard you saying you were talking to their marketing team, so I'm hoping they figure out how to properly explain this.
Yeah. So I at this point, for me, the initial feeling I got was what they did was unacceptable, and I really, for me, I was at a point where I didn't even care what type of excuse that they had. The first thing I wanted was just an apology to the people. Like, regardless of whatever the situation was, we could tell they were not handling things well. Whether this is the CEO, whether this is the PR team, there was just so many red flags that have happened, and we know how. Right now, there are so many new users entering the investing space, and this is not the time for an established broker that we've been entrusting, that we've been using for a while, to make a move like this. So there's a lot going on behind the scene, you guys. And before I even and share with you guys like my what I'm seeing right now, I need to gather the facts from both sides in order to present things. So Monday is going to be a big day in order for that to happen. I am trying to make sure that as educated as we are heading in a direction where it's not skewed by our own ego or our bias, because right now there are a lot of emotions flying in a situation like this. It's hard for me too, and I've had people reach out to me and tell me, Brian, like, don't get so upset with things going on, man. We know we know how stressful it is, but in terms of investing too, Kevin, you know how emotions play such a strong role in trying to make profit. So there's a lot to cover here, you guys. I do need to introduce Kevin into here, and I do need to do a quick lobby refresh. And before I do that, guys, So I have links down below in the description for Robinhood, and the only reason for this is you can still get 4 free stocks before tomorrow starts. Now, I'm not saying that you guys should sign up and use their app. I'm saying get the 4 free stocks and do whatever the hell you want with it. You cash it out. There's no account minimum. And honestly, right now by doing that, you may be taking away too. So I'm not recommending you do anything, but I'm going to be sharing with you the facts. There's no account minimum. There's still promotion on the four free stocks. If you don't want to get it, don't get it. If you want to get it, cash it out and hurt their pockets a little bit more. That's another strategy too. So if the people are able to benefit from this, I'm not going to stop you from otherwise, but the huge disclaimers are down there for you to check out. So right now we have 14,700 viewers in here, and we have 2,600 likes. So guys, go ahead and destroy that like button. Let's get 5,000 likes before we get into the 1 hour mark for this video. Hopefully maybe we'll set a goal for 20,000 likes for this. Tomorrow the goal is going to be 50,000 likes. Guys, I'm going to stream until we hit that mark. I'm going to stream until we hit every country possible. So huge thanks to Kevin for joining the show. Kevin, can you please introduce yourself, man, just for the people, and then we'll just get started with the topics.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, let's see. I real estate broker. I started YouTube basically because I used to have 3-hour meetings with clients trying to teach them everything I know about real estate, and I'm like, I could teach this. But I found actually another YouTuber making videos about real estate and teaching people about real estate. I'm like, wait a minute, if they can do it, I could do that too. So I took my coffee meetings online, basically my education online, and ever since I've been making YouTube videos. And so now obviously I cover stocks, real estate, political news, anything really related to money is the goal.
So Kevin, as an investor, can you share with us like your background or maybe like an idea of, are you expert? Do you have a lot of money in the market? Do you have some stocks? Are you involved into the GME and AMC short squeeze?
That's a great question. Yeah, so I've grown a pretty good portfolio over the last 11 years of here investing. It really started investing with actually probably even more than 11 years, because I really started buying Apple stock like crazy right after the recession happened. So probably around 12, 13 years ago. I realized when I bought my first house and I bought my first stocks that, wow, I can make money while I'm also working a job. And that was so addicting to see your wealth just go up year after year. And look, I remember when I first bought my first shares of Apple stock, they went straight down afterwards. It was like I probably bought it like the worst time because everything just kept collapsing. But it was hilarious because it really gave me this mentality of, doesn't really matter. I mean, I still own the same amount of shares of Apple, is sort of the psychology I tricked myself into. And it's worked out really well because I've never sold those Apple shares. I still have them today, and just consistently kept adding. And that's my same principle now. I've made a few portfolio reveal videos on the channel. So I've broken down my real estate portfolio and stock portfolio. I'm about 50-50. Right now, about 20 million into stocks, and then about the similar amount into real estate.
20 million. Sheesh.
Yeah. And obviously there's debt as well. So, I think in total, I think it works out to somewhere around like 42, 43 million that I've got invested. And it's all split between California real estate and stocks. But I will tell you, this pandemic has made me realize it, and we've had some insanely outsized gains, obviously, through this pandemic here. But it's made me realize that how nice it is to just be able to sit here and swipe up on a stock on Robinhood or click buy on Webull or whatever. Because real estate, as much as I love it, and as much as I think it's such a wonderful way to build wealth really quickly when you're starting out, there's nothing like the GME call options right now.
Kevin, that's awesome, man. What would you say, like, your stance on the AMC or like GME squeeze has been? I haven't been watching your videos lately just because of how busy I've been, but I know that you are part of this. I would say the content as well. So how do you feel about this, and what is your perspective on everything going on?
Yeah, what my theory is that as long as we continue peak media, these stocks will keep running. If you're looking for a turning point in terms of when are people going to dump out of GameStop and when are people going to dump out of AMC, don't wait for Wall Street Bets to tell you. I think Wall Street Bets is going to be the last one to tell you that. I think the first cue is going to be when peak media attention starts falling. Because with peak media and people buying billboards in Times Square about this stuff, every day you're getting more and more and more people into this movement, which is what it is, which I'm happy to be a part of, which is so exciting to be a part of. But if these are some life-changing numbers you've got, that you're making here now, you also gotta, you gotta look out for your family too, and kind of think to yourself, okay, what's the right time to start thinking about, maybe transitioning out. Now, personally, I'm not super heavily in relative to my other investments, certainly not relative to, even my Tesla app, or certainly not my Tesla stock, but even relative to my Amazon or Apple stocks. But I think I even have more Bitcoin involved than I do in this. But look, I'm tempted to put more in and have more in AMC and GME because we're still on the ramp of media attention. That's my point of view. And I think, hey, whether it's AMC or GME, usually you see a little bit more of a push on GME than you do on AMC. But there are a lot of people who think AMC is just going to end up slingshotting past GME, and the same gains that we saw at GME we'll end up seeing at AMC again. I think AMC ran up to 20, and now it's at like 13 or something like that. There's a lot of push that's going to go right back. Who knows, obviously, but paying attention to the media trends around it, that I think is the big key here.
Awesome, Kevin. And I also want to ask you, because this is a big question too. And guys, keep in mind, we are not financial experts. This is all just we're not financial experts. That's what we'll say. All right, Kev, opinion. Okay.
I call myself like an idiot. I just like anything I say, just assume it's bad is usually what I say. That, just because there's so much litigiousness here in California, it is so bad. People will sue you for anything. And I've been in lawsuits without insurance before, and I'll tell you, it is a disaster. Even if you are 100% right, you will spend hundreds of thousands of dollars defending yourself, or you'll get steamrolled because if you don't have the money. It's pretty bad. So yeah. Legal disclaimers are a good thing.
Actually, I think you are going to be like one of the most interesting guests on here just because of your background and experience in a lot of these fields. So, I mean, the topic of things we can talk about is through the roof. And guys, this is all completely unscripted. We don't have an outline at all for any of this. And that's how confident I am in us just being able to roll and provide a lot of value in this. The lawsuit one is definitely an interesting one because, if you have gone through legal troubles in the past, you might know some protections, or you might have an expectation of what type of lawsuits we should expect for these bigger companies. Do you have a stance on that, or do you have an idea of maybe some of these other hedge funds going down, or maybe other brokerages even getting sued? What do you think about that?
I think Robinhood is going to be dealing with, they already are dealing with dozens of lawsuits regarding just what happened on the 28th. I think I should say my hope is that with Robinhood's latest liquidity raises, that we've gone past peak drama regarding the brokerages. So hopefully that means fewer outages. Hopefully that starts meaning fewer restrictions at Robinhood. Lawsuits are going to happen all day long. Lawsuits take years. Most of them fizzle. I think they say 99% of lawsuits settle. That's at least what a judge told me one day. I don't know where he got the fact from, so who knows? But that wouldn't surprise me. This situation here, I think the biggest likelihood of us seeing any kind of regulatory change isn't at the Wall Street Bets front. It isn't at the consumer front. It's going to be around, the ability to all of a sudden change these margin requirements for brokerages like Robinhood. Because Robinhood, Webull, M1 Finance, through their clearinghouses or whatever, when their collateral requirements were all of a sudden jacked up, it's almost like there's some suits somewhere who were able to pull out the rug from under these companies. And that is a problem, in my opinion. I think that's probably where we're going to see the biggest regulation. I don't think we're going to see that as the consumer, really.
Yeah, Kev. So there's been a lot of talk and media attention even before the whole short squeeze craze on the ethics of having a clearinghouse, because many consumers weren't aware of that, right? Most people who started investing assumed if I buy a stock from Robinhood, somehow that just goes to the exchange and then I get it inside my pocket. I think through all this, we're learning how it actually really works. And I think the biggest thing right now is that the attention that we're getting from this may actually cause a shift in that, because there are a lot of negatives associated with the business model of not owning or not processing your own stocks and letting another company handle that. The short squeeze is just a strong example of that. We're going to be seeing a lot of liquidity issues, capital issues, and there's a lot more ethical reasons behind it. I'm not an expert in this. So Kevin, if you know a little bit more about this, I would love for you to just chime in and help me out too.
Yeah, I think the easiest way to understand the whole clearinghouse aspect is, and even just fintech in general, is putting yourself in the shoes of an app developer. Let's say, it'll just come up with a total example here. Let's say that you wanted to create a stock trading app, and you said, we're going to use cryptocurrency, we're going to use stable coins to clear all of our transactions. And tomorrow I'm creating this app that's going to do that, let's just say. As an app creator, you are probably going to be able to get your designers for your app. You're going to understand the functionality of what you want your app to look like, so you'll hire programmers to do that. But then you're going to hire SEC attorneys, FINRA attorneys. You're going to hire experts who tell you, hey, look, you've got your app, it's beautiful, you've designed it, you've got the structure of your app set up, you got all that, kind of like Robinhood, right? That's wonderful, you have all that. But somebody's got to clear all these transactions for you. Now, you can build that whole process out yourself, and that's going to take you 2 or 3 years to build out. Your app you could get up in, maybe 6 months. You want to build out the back end? Yeah, go work on it for 2 or 3 years. On the other hand, we got this company over here, like in the cryptocurrency space, a Paxos. You could just sign a deal with Paxos, and they'll deal with it all for you. You could get your app launched right away, and they'll deal with all the back end for you. So from like a founder point of view, it totally makes sense to use like M1 Finance using Apex, Webull using Apex. Totally makes sense, because it's a complete disaster to try to come up with all that stuff yourself when a plug and play system already works. Unfortunately, that leaves you screwed when they screw up, because you're the face of all of that. And the banking industry is so complicated. It feels impossible not to have those other kind of relationships unless you're like a JP Morgan who's already got every connection under the sun. That's just my take. And that's why I think, fintechs, it's like, we got to hit market. Otherwise somebody else is taking this idea tomorrow, so they're all trying to rush to market. And that's one of the byproducts of that.
Sweet. So let me get my sexy camera instead of the FaceTime camera. All right. So yeah, Kev, I mean, we're seeing so much unravel, right? And over this past weekend too, I thought maybe attention on this would go down, but just being on social media, looking at Reddit and seeing what the people are saying, I feel like day by day, we are continuing to see more people actually join the movement. Entering Monday, do you have any predictions on what you would expect to see?
Yeah. So usually what you see, and this is, if you're thinking about buying options, is something to definitely keep in mind is usually the open is the most expensive. That's when every retail trader's like, I'm waking up early today and I'm coming in to buy. A lot of the institutions try to play that and profit off that. So it's entirely possible that we could see a large open, and we'll see how pre-market does. But over the last week, we've seen some really high numbers in the pre-market. And then people are buying at sometimes these peak prices right at open. And then you see a fall, a few hours after open. Not always. I mean, who knows? The market can do anything. But my expectation, like if I were going to say, that's it, I'm doubling down on my AMCs and my GMEs tomorrow. If I were to double down, I would personally probably wait and look for a nice sell-off during the day. Who knows if that'll come, because there is a risk in that, right? What do we close out? Let's see what we are right now. Right now we are at 312. So potentially there's an idea that my strategy, and of course we have no idea what's going to happen pre-market here, but let's say it was 312 at open. There's a risk that if you don't buy at 312, it just goes straight up to 500, right? And you never get that opportunity in the 300s again. That's a risk. Alternatively, we could open at 420, $69, and we could sell off to $350, and maybe that's your time to buy. So it's ultimately everybody's gonna have to make their own personal decision. But yeah, I mean, I'm down to anything that I were to put in now at this stage in the movement would definitely be YOLO money. Like I'll take some of the money that I made off supposed to Dogecoin. I never know how to say that right, but Doggy Coin, Dogecoin, whatever. I'll take some of the money I made off that, and I'd be down to YOLO that, because to me that was just found money. I mean, I got so lucky. I don't know if you saw this. I know you've been busy with your channel, so no worries. But I put $25,000 as a YOLO onto Dogecoin, and at the end of the day, I was playing Rust, and it was like 10:30. I was playing Rust with Lauren, and I'm like, oh my god, I'm up $48,000. So the $25,000 turned into $72,000, something like that. And I'm like, yeah, I'll take that money. So I sold, and those were some of the quickest gains I've realized ever. And of course, unfortunately, since then it's been selling off. So, I'm not trying to like pat myself on the back for timing or whatever. I think that was just total fluke. But I'd be willing to take that money and throw it into some options on the movement.
Yeah, Kev, that's a lot. And in terms of your presence on here, that's something I really like. So you're able to make these type of gains right now through the current situation that's going on, but you also have a multi-million-dollar portfolio just from investing over time. I want to emphasize this to the people. And when Kevin says YOLO money, for anybody like in another country, if you don't know what that means, it's just like you only live once, so it's like I only live once, so might as well do this on an opportunity that may never happen again. And you'll notice that most of the people that I have on this show, if they are investing, this is not investment money that was their mortgage. Like I saw some troll articles of kids taking out a second mortgage from their parents without them knowing in order to invest. Now, some of them were trolls, and the reason why they were trolls is because they would tweet this. It would get mass attention. The medias would pick it up just to make it look even worse than it is. So that was just kind of an example right there of all the market manipulation, the media really not liking I would say the little guys in this situation. We haven't, if you go on the news, we will have billionaires sticking up for the little guys. We've had Chamath, Elon, and multiple people adding to the cause. But then it's so easy to go on any one of these networks and then see them just absolutely grilling the movement or talking about how dumb or stupid it is. And I feel like there is a lot of agenda down here. For anyone like new to this entire just short squeeze movement, there was heavy market manipulation over the past few days. And this is a topic that I wanted to discuss too, because Monday, we can't do anything about the past, but moving into the future, we can stay prepared and we can get ready to see what happens. So Kev, market manipulation is something
like when I get really long emails or long PDFs, I wish. Oh, sorry. It's my bad. Go ahead. Keep going.
So market manipulation,
like automatically started playing. My bad.
Oh,
Go ahead.
You're good.
Market manipulation.
I thought I was hearing your thoughts or something, man. Like you're just.
I know, right? Like
you're 400 IQ, and I was like,
sorry.
"Stream, is this just me, or did he tap in finally?" Yeah. So, Kev, we've been talking a lot about market manipulation. It's something that during the live streams we would go ahead do some research on real time. Chat would go ahead and send me some articles to review, and for me, my stance is yes, there's market manipulation without a doubt in this field. And what I was mentioning earlier is, there's nothing we can do about the past, right? We can only just move into the future, move into Monday, and make an educated decision. There are three real big options here, I would say, in terms of what people can do. You buy, you sell, or you hold, okay? For the people who sell, this is a term we've been calling paper hands. And if you guys look on the top right corner of your screen right above Kevin, that's the Wall Street's Bet logo with some diamond hands. I've been seeing some people, I hope these are fake photos you guys are sending me in my DMs, but some people literally tattooed a diamond on their hand. Please, guys, don't. Yeah, Kev, when I say this is a movement, this is absolutely extraordinary, man. Yeah. I've never seen anything like this on my time on this planet. I'm not that old, but we've gone through stimulus. We've seen the people come together over this past year, but nothing to this extent, man. So moving into Monday, this brand new week, a lot of people are excited and some people are really scared. Some people have no idea what to expect. Based on what we've seen in terms of the hedge funds taking the blows at us, do you believe, as an investor and someone with your experience, your knowledge, and as a YouTuber and everything that you do, give us your thoughts on Monday in terms of market manipulation? Do you think it can go down even worse? Do you think they could restrict us even more, or do you think the people may have the upper hand on this?
That's a really good question. Yeah, I think right now there is so much attention coming onto this issue from the SEC that I personally don't think we are going to see. If anything, we'll see less restrictions. We'll see less issues. That's my expectation. I really don't think we are going to be in a situation where somehow at this point there's going to be blatant and there are two differentiations here. I don't think we're going to see blatant manipulation that is so obvious, because the SEC is watching like a hawk right now. Because if here's what happens: if the people get blatantly screwed right now, people are going to freak out at their lawmakers. And when they freak out at their lawmakers, the SEC is going to have to crack down on the manipulators, whoever that might be. Not to mention any names, that it could be like Melvin or Citron. But there's going to be so much pressure to do something. And if there's any blatant manipulation this week, you're basically walking into the line of fire. Could there be, subtle manipulation, or sort of, I should say not subtle. Could there be covert manipulation? Oh, guaranteed that crap's going to happen. You're going to see, bots, fake news, misinformation, disinformation. You're going to see all of it to try to convince the retail traders that the squeeze is squoze and it's time to sell. That's my expectation of what you can, what might happen is it'll be more of an anonymous kind of front, but a strong affront to get people to finally realize, no, squeeze is squoze. And we're going to keep looking at the outstanding shorts and go, no, we don't think the squeeze is squoze yet. So that's some of my thinking.
Kevin, that's a great answer right there, man. And I'm just going to do a quick little refresh on the lobby, because we've been getting so many viewers in here. And guys, I know that I've been getting some super chats too. And something I tend to do is just recognize those guys. Guys, please, you do not have to donate, okay? If you just want your message to be seen on screen, you can go ahead and do that. But please reinvest your own money into the market. I want you guys to all see wins here. So you don't have to donate. Big thing here, guys, if you don't know who's on screen, this is Meet Kevin. I have his channel linked down below in the description. I am actually one of your course members, Kev. So back in the stimulus era, I went ahead and got your YouTube course. So that has actually helped me out significantly. He has a ton of great resources that you guys can check out. Go subscribe to Kevin. I look up to Kevin. He's absolutely a genius when it comes to this. And all the people that I put on this show, you guys, I just want you to know I vouch for, and Kevin is absolutely one of them. Just a great guy. So if you have never seen him before, if you're new to the whole investing scene, make sure you guys go watch his videos. He has a ton of great resources that will definitely educate you and help you to move forward in your financial journey. So
that was awesome. I appreciate that. I did not know that you were a course member. I really appreciate that. That's so cool. That happens sometimes where people, like, there's another YouTuber too, Richard Allen. He does a lot of these stock videos, and this guy blew up. And he's really going hard on this right now. And I thought it was so cool. And I saw his channel, and it wasn't until after I commented on his channel that he's like, oh, by the way, I'm in your YouTube course. I'm like, what? Like, it's such a small world. And I think it is so cool that we can come out and support each other. I really appreciate you saying that. But seriously, it's just a testament that the YouTube community can be so wonderfully supportive of one another. And it's honestly a good thing, because this business can be so stressful. We can we can stress ourselves out a lot. So it's a good thing to support each other. Thank you.
Kev. The biggest time for me is Kevin and I had experience prior to this year starting in the stimulus check era. So this is when basically the stimulus checks were coming out, and we were seeing a ton of viewerships in that field. Kev, you absolutely just destroyed it in that field. You were doing good views, man. And the biggest thing for me in terms of because I've never bought a course in my life. I'll tell you that. I've
Mm.
never purchased a course ever. Yours was the first one only because we were making these stimulus check content. And as someone who guys, I'm 24. This is not something I grew up doing. And Kevin neither. I know you wanted to be like a police officer in the beginning, and it went a completely different route. So,
Yeah.
guys, when I was doing stimulus check content, I was exhausted. I've never felt so like tired and I didn't realize how much work went into it. And I was doing one video a day, if that, while Kevin was out here doing 3 to 4 videos. So my biggest thing was just trying to figure out exactly how you're able to break your systems down. And this is going to go more into kind of like business entrepreneurship, like things like
Mhm.
that. But Kevin, just real quick, man, just like 30 seconds, if anything. How do you do it, man? How do you post 3, 4 times a day? How have you found so much success on this platform through your work ethic?
Well, gosh, I really appreciate you saying that. I think I don't know what it is, but I have this weird. I honestly, I think it's a mental problem. Which those are real things. Like I'll tell you, when I was in high school, and I hear people say they have anxiety or issues or whatever, and I'm like, oh man, that's just in your head. Mental problems are just in your head or whatever. No, I think like stress and anxiety are real issues.
Yeah.
And one issue that I have is when I'm not working, I get like really, really anxious. Like I have to get back. So like right here, like super chill. Like I'm a little anxious that my second door isn't closed right now because I can kind of hear Jack and Max out there, and I'm tempted to get up and close it because I have two doors. Then they weigh like 1,000 pounds each because those kids are loud. But beyond that, like if I'm working, I'm super chill and I love this. I've got the chat up here that I'm reading at the same time as well. I love all of you, and I'm seeing all the ticker symbol shout outs here that we've got. But when I'm not working, it's pretty bad. I get this like anxiety of I gotta go back to work. I gotta go back to work. Now sometimes I can alleviate that by playing games. Like lately, I've been playing Rust, which has been hilarious. There's some course members that'll play with me, which I really appreciate you bringing up the course. And I don't want to come across as coming. I want to answer your question too. I don't want to come across as coming on here and pitch it, but I just want to say that if anybody did want to check out my course, at least use the birthday coupon code. That does go until February 2nd, and the code is B Day. But to go to the bottom of your question, which is how do I do it? Coffee is one thing. I have gone through periods where I just go with no coffee, and that works as well. But with coffee, it's pretty bad. I could sleep like 5 hours a night with coffee. Without coffee, I'm probably sleeping like 7.5, 8 hours a night. So cutting back on sleep is a really bad thing, but that is something that I do. That gives me an opportunity at night. Sometimes it's like 2 a.m. and I'm sitting in the garage and I'm just reading research on the next EV stock, the next SPAC coming up, whatever. And what I found is the more I read, the more I understand what's going on in the world, and it makes me realize how little I understand of the world. And that way, when there's something that comes up, I feel like I could speak a little bit more knowledgeably about it. And so spending a lot of time reading really helps me. And that way too, when I'm producing content, it's easier for me to produce that content. So if I can get a good 3-4 hours of reading in a day, that's a good day. And that helps me a lot.
That's pretty
Sorry for that
helpful,
long answer.
man. Yeah, my theory was like you were the most just pioneer testosterone filled man off the theory that like guys, like back in the day, you can take this whichever way you want. Like back in the day, they would say like, men were built to like build, right? That, men were like the hunters and stuff. So we always have this natural inclination to want to keep building on our life. And for me personally, I feel the same way. If I'm not leveling up in something, whether it's a video game where you can get hit with all of these level up, you can see your experience, you can see a whole bunch of things that visually tell you that you're leveling up, and you're just chilling, it's not a good feeling. There's periods of time where I thought I was like clinically depressed because I was just not doing anything. And I think building, whether it's a YouTube channel or whatever it is in your life, or maybe even sports, that's how I grew up, channeling my energy. I think with like right now, moving into the future for people like us, especially people who have YouTube channels like this, it's that fundamental idea of trying to build and try to keep growing whatever you have created. And I don't know, man. I thought you were a Capricorn because I'm a Capricorn and they say Capricorns are like hardworking or something. I'm not huge into astrology, but I definitely heard that before. So I thought, man, this guy was born like near my birthday or something. But I think you just,
What's your birthday?
My birthday's December 29th, so it was a little.
Oh, yeah, you are pretty close. I'm Aquarius. I'm January 28th, and yeah, I don't know what it is, but I think what you said is actually the key word, and it's my theory. But you said building something, and I think you nailed it there. That when you are building something, every day feels like growth. And that feels really good. Like people ask me, Kevin, is it $1, that matters? I haven't found it to be true. Like I can have outsized gains in stocks or do really well in real estate investing or hey, the call options can do really well. And that's exciting short term, but unless you're constantly building on it, it's really tough, which I want to say that about for anybody with gains on options right now. Keep in mind that if you walk away with gains from what we're going through with GameStop and AMC here, which I want all of you to walk away with big gains here, we are going to go through this psychological temptation of, well, I got to double down. I want to do this again because we want to build. We want to turn our $5,000 YOLO into 25K, 50K, 100K with GME, AMC, right? Then we're going to take that money and we're going to want to do it again. We're going to want to build on that. And that potentially sets up some risks in this space because we're not going to have that peak media attention for a very, always. However, when you're building a YouTube channel, you don't have that massive potential downside risk that if you take you go into the next YOLO, that your YOLO is going to go to zero. So I do think there's a little bit of a benefit there on if you're building on YouTube relative to constantly building on options. And I really want to bring that up because I think that could be a big risk factor for a lot of people who are going to make big money really quickly here. The temptation to keep trying to build on that. And I'm not saying don't do it, but just be cautious because it does make me concerned that we're going to see some big wins. And you know what they say about people who win the lottery. It's like you win big and all of a sudden it's all gone before you know it. So be really frugal. If you've got really outsized gains, get yourself a financial advisor, get a CPA, get a good attorney. It's worth it. Like the Deep F and Value guy. One of the reasons, this is my suspicion, one of the reasons I think he's been totally dark, well, not totally dark, but he's been pretty limited in the interviews that he's done is because he probably made a very smart decision and hit up attorneys and stuff right away.
Yeah. That's a lot of great stuff right there, Kev. For anyone who doesn't know Deep Effing Value, this is the first user who actually entered GameStop. His portfolio has grown tremendously, and people look to him as one of the generals or the commanders in this entire movement. So I was on Reddit, Wall Street Bets, a little before this actually started, and some users went ahead and created this little image of him right here with the red headband.
I love it. Would you mind maybe continue I want to keep talking, but I've got to take a call. Could I come back in like 5-10 minutes? Is that okay?
Definitely, Kev. Take your call, man. I'll go ahead and do some updates on my end. Feel free to just chime back in. I'll see you on the waiting room inside of my computer. And yeah, we can keep going ahead from there.
Keep your text up too. I might text you.
I will.
I'll be right back.
I will.
Thanks.
Alrighty, guys. So I'm going to move Kevin over into the waiting room. Guys, what is up, man? So Kevin right there is spinning so much value, guys. And I love being able to have these type of guests that I never thought I would have up in here. I don't know how much higher we're going to get in this world. But, guys, we have 22,000 viewers right now. And we only have 6,200 likes. It's a little bit of a problem right there. If we want the movement to go up, let's see the movement on the likes. More people will see it because the YouTube algorithm will push this live up, and everything we're talking about is related into the AMC and the GME movement. Now, I do want to mention, guys, I do have an interesting stock that I want to go over. I may be entering a new position. Don't follow my trades at all, but I've been doing a lot of research on this, and yeah, this is something I want to share with you guys because I think there's going to be a decent amount of money made. Who will see? I don't have a crystal ball, but who will see? So Here's a few things I want to cover. I want to cover the most popular questions. What are we going to expect to see Monday? I want to cover the next question. What do we do, Brian, if it goes south, north, east, or west? Who knows? If it starts doing the worm, right? What do we do? This is really important because everything I've talked about on this channel has, before I even started these live streams, you guys, have always been about investing wisely, knowing and understanding what you're getting yourself into. And we realized that with fundamental investing and quantitative analysis, everything is thrown out the window. The reason why I was able to get into AMC and at $4 is because I did something different. I do something that we all do every single day. It's called social reading, social data. That's a smart way to put it. It's just me waking up or staying up late at night and just going through Reddit or StockTwits. That's the other way to put it. But I like to say social data. Social data. That's what we're doing. So listen up, guys. There's a lot of things that I'm reading online, and I soak this information in so easily compared to reading some of those like articles. I even have a hard time keeping my attention with books and stuff, because growing up as a student, I really did not like the system. Guys, I was not a good student in high school, man. I did not pay attention. So wow, oh my gosh, we're at 9,161 likes. It's nice to hear a lot of people are listening to this. Guys, follow me over on Instagram at Credit Brian if you want to look for more updates regarding the situation. I've been getting a ton of DMs, trying to respond to as many people as I can. So if you want to go ahead and just stay up to date with me on there. If I do plan on going live, I will post it on my Instagram and Twitter, so you guys are alerted as well. Let's do a review of just where we are in terms of the stock positions. Is it too late to sell, or is it too late to buy? Is it a good move to sell? I'll say right now, if any of y'all are selling, if any of y'all are planning to sell, get off this stream. Get off this stream. All right, this is diamond hand, boys. Anything other than that, if you're paper thin, please just exit. I really want people who are here for the movement. I want people who are watching this not just to make a simple profit. Making $1,000 or $2,000 or maybe $10,000, $20,000 overnight is nice, right? And it is. I'm not gonna lie. I'll show you my portfolio, but I think it goes more than that. And yes, Doge Silver. I acknowledge it. It'll get good if it's tomorrow or today. So I have about like 2 or 3 guests that I told them like, hey, I'm going live if you guys want to come on, and they're all like, yeah, I'm down. So this is all just going with the flow. This whole entire week I've been going with the flow. I have zero outline in front of me. The only thing I can see is chat. So the person we just had for a majority of the first hour on this stream was Kevin. He is linked down below in the description of my video. Let him know who sent you. It is Meet Kevin, and an absolutely brilliant guy. Once you start to learn more about investing, you'll realize there's not that many YouTubers out here. I would say there's like the first generation of stock YouTubers, and then there's like the OGs, and then there's just like me in the middle of that, I would say. Started 2-3 years back, have built just a decent following, not in the millions, not 10,000, in the middle, right? So Kevin is one of the OGs. Kevin has been in the game for a little bit, and he's at over 1 million or some subs. So originally, I think I was supposed to go on his channel. I messed up completely because I misinterpreted the text. I'm on 2 to 3 hours of sleep doing all the research and figuring this out. And right now in the state of Maryland, we're getting like 6 to 8 inches of snow. So this morning, I ran out of my oats, almost freaking ran into the curb in my car because it was so freaking slick outside. So it's been a crazy journey, but yeah, there's a lot going on here, and I'm honored that someone like Kevin would be on here, because in terms of sub size and in terms of experience, I look up to him. So the fact that he comes on this channel, like, it's like, whoa, what has happened, man? So awesome. Let's go through the chat. Let me acknowledge all the super chats, you guys. You don't have to do that, but thank you so much. Holio, thank you. Watch Crypto, thank you. Brian Jung now available on Watch Crypto. That is a scam, right? I hate y'all scammers. Take your money. Please don't use my name to promote whatever website you have. I'm not going to WhatsApp you. I don't have, dude, guys, I don't have like a financial advisor or mentor that's going to WhatsApp you. Right now, I'm getting so many scam comments of people impersonating me. I'm not going to do that, okay? So please be careful. If you see anything of anyone saying Brian Jung vouched, please be careful. If I vouch for it, I will say it myself. All right, okay. Ask Kevin about how he made $47,000 in Doge. I'll definitely go ahead and ask him that when he hops back on. Matthias, thank you. Rabbit, thank you. Can you speak a little about Star Peak Energy? I don't know about Star Peak Energy. I've seen this a few times. I don't know. Guys, I don't know every stock going on in the world. I just want you to mention. I know my stocks that I have on my screen. And let me show y'all my screen. So here we go. This is my war list right here, guys. This is the stocks that we've been covering. I'm still using Robinhood because a majority of my portfolio is with them. And I'm just going to be honest with that. So let me downsize my screen. And actually, it's freezing a little, so. And guys, I also want to let you know, last night I went out and bought a PC. And I've always been an iOS MacBook guy in order to make sure these streams don't crash on me. And the software I use is not on PC. So I got like this $4,000 PC and with all like the monitors and everything, but I can't use it and I'm still using my MacBook. So it's snowing. Hopefully I'll be able to like go to the store before they close today, because before tomorrow starts, I'm definitely trying to upgrade my system. Maybe get like one of those little Mac Pros that they have. So that would be cool. But anyway, sorry. Show hide. So right now we have my war list. This is pretty much the stocks that I've been showing on this channel in order to see some of the gains that we've just made over the past week. I'm only in 2 positions. Blackberry is one of them at $14. They're down today in the aftermarket hours of 4%. The other position I've entered is AMC. So for anyone curious on what I've been doing with my stocks and how I've been handling my trades, AMC is currently at $13.45. My average cost is $7.61. I originally entered AMC at $4 and something. So it was in the $4 range. And the reason why my average cost went up is because I decided to reinvest another $10,000. So my initial investment of $10,000 had me in the 200 to 300% gain range at the all-time high that we saw last week of, I believe, close to $20. It was $18. Right now, I still have a gain of $16,000 with my portfolio. Today's return, which is not realized at all, 55%, and then $12,000. So if I did cash this out, it'd be an additional $35,000 in my portfolio. The question is, am I going to cash out? What am I going to do? Stick through the stream and we'll share that. You know what? I actually hate when YouTubers do it. Let me just share it with you guys right now. Sorry. I'm so used to that. My price target at the moment for my personal portfolio, not financial advice at all. Do not copy my trades, okay? I did set mine to $35. Depending on how the market moves, I may adjust that to a higher price. If AMC hits $50 and we all make money, I know FOMO is going to kill me, but the reason why $35 is my price target is because I entered AMC understanding the idea of how much money I wanted to exit with. So there's a couple ways we can go about this. Most people will just dump their money into one of these stocks in order to just make their profit, cash out, and do whatever you want with it. Buy a new car, you can pay off the debt, you can go buy some Nintendo Switches and give them to your local children's hospital, which some of the Reddit Wall Street bet users have been doing. I don't think the hedge funds would ever donate their money to the children's hospital, but the people will. The money that we make from these guys, we will be distributing to the, I would say, to the people, to the community in a fair way. In essence, I believe this is a much stronger way in order to improve the economy, but I'm no macroeconomics professor or expert at all in this industry. I just know that right now, if people are able to exit and make their gains, they're going to help their family out. They're going to put food on their table. They're going to invest into the things, maybe back into their future by going into different positions on stocks. I know that when people are able to make their money in things like investing, that they'll have a much more stronger responsibility to use that wisely than if the government has handed you directly a $600 check, which is nothing compared to some of the gains that we may see. Now, I know everyone's portfolio size is different. If you're only able to make $100 profit from this still may be life-changing, depending on what situation you are in and where you live and how it's going. And I do want to mention that I don't want to forget about the people who are struggling. And although things on my end may look good, I have close family members that are struggling every day. So this is not something that I want to neglect at all. If you're in a financial situation, maybe you're in debt, Maybe you lost your job. Maybe you can't pay for your college tuition. Maybe your parents lost your job. Your kids have lost their jobs. Regardless of whatever the situation is, the timing on this is impeccable. Now, this is assuming that everything goes well and the stocks continue to go up. But if we're not talking about the monetary value, there's something more than that. There's the idea that humans can come together in a movement regardless of race, age, gender. Look at the community we have down below. This is not even based on country. We have so many people all around the world that are participating in a movement like this. We have people in Asia saying, yo, let us help our American brothers out. We got people in Germany watching this right now. We got people in Australia. Comment down below your country, just so everyone in this stream can realize how big of a movement this actually is. I didn't realize how big these streams were until one of my friends who watches Twitch videos pretty often was telling me, Brian, like a good Twitch user maybe gets like 5,000 views like for a live that's pretty active. And they're playing games. They're actually doing stuff. We have 25,000 viewers while I'm not playing games. Y'all don't need to have your attention span stroked by a whole bunch of flashing colors. This is just straight facts that we got going. This is the platform where y'all want to be heard, and I am so honored that I do have the ability to do this right now in my situation. So thank you so much for allowing me to be here and for you guys to tune in. I'm no one, I didn't start with much. Most of my close friends, most of my subscribers will know that. I share that in my videos. I made a video of paying off my mom's credit card debt that she's had since the 2008 recession in order to put food on the table for my family and I. My family came to Korea, sacrificed everything, not knowing English, in order to make sure that my sister and I were able to go to school here. Because opportunities in the world aren't the same as they are in the US. So I just want you guys to realize how grateful we should all be if you're watching this, if you have an internet connection and you have money to put into the market. Because a majority of the world is not like this. A majority of the world is struggling. A majority of the world does not have the capabilities to know what a short squeeze is or even what the Wall Street Bets movement is. I know that this is going mainstream. But outside of our little circle here, guys, the whole world is not in this situation. So drop a like down below on this video if you do appreciate the work that's going on in here. I'm someone who needs sleep in order to function, and this past week, that's not something that I've been doing in order to make sure that I come out and do these lives. My back's been aching a lot because I'm sitting in one position for 8+ hours a day. But this is nothing compared to the suffering and the inequality that we've had that most people have endured for a majority of their life. And if I got to just chill for a little bit in order to make sure people get a little bit of wisdom or a little bit of encouragement in terms of what to do, I'll stick by here. Just know that I'm not an expert. I'm no one. And I got a couple comments. You guys want to see my portfolio? I'm so transparent about everything. Robinhood's just one of my portfolios. I don't mind revealing if you guys just want to have an idea of where I'm sitting at. So right now it's $129,000 so far for this portfolio. You'll see that we hit a high back when we did see it go up. So my portfolio hit a high last week of 30% increase at $155,000. It did taper off once we did see the freaking market manipulation going on. So it did affect a lot of people. My portfolio did take a little bit of a hit, but hey, that's expected. When you go to war, you're not expected to just trample on everyone unless you're the Spartans from 300. But even them, we all know what happened if y'all watch that movie. Cue the This Is Sparta soundtrack.
This is Sparta!
Sorry, I had to do that one. It's here. I've been waiting to press that at some point. So that is my stock portfolio, guys. I'm holding still, and regardless, I'm still positive for this week. I know some of you guys' portfolios may not look like this, but realize how volatile we're seeing the market go. If it is volatile, if you guys are not in the green, if you guys are in the red, I just want to say that is completely okay. There have been times in my portfolio, actually for the first few years that I invested before knowing anything, where my portfolio was negative because I invested into a company called ticker symbol INNT. INNT. I don't think they're around anymore, but yeah, they did go down and it sucked. So guys, we got the legend back in the green room right now, chilling, and I'm about to get Kevin back on here. If you're new to the channel though, welcome. We have 25,000 members here. We have 11,000 likes on this video, and we're only an hour in, so we may be surpassing the Friday limits that we're seeing, and I did not think Sunday would be a day for that, but you know, I know that a lot of you guys are at home and a little anxious about what's going on too. So real quick, guys, let's see if we can get 15,000 likes on this video right now. Subscribe to the channel if you have not yet already. We'll be continuing to do updates while this entire thing lasts, and I will starve. I will not sleep as much as I can in order to make sure that I am live and here in order to support you guys and have a platform. I'm also setting up a few interesting things as well, just so when I'm not live, you'll still have a platform to be on. So this is going to be really interesting. I paid one of my the best designers that I know. Stay tuned. Some of you guys may know what I'm talking about. Stay tuned. That's the most interesting thing I got on this channel. Subscribe down below. Meet Kevin is about to join here very shortly. His channel is listed down below in the description. Amazing, amazing guy. So much value dropped in this video so far. And we're at 12,000 likes. Thank you so much. 15,000 likes, people. I also have additional links down below in the description that you guys can check out. $10 free crypto with Coinbase, 4 free stocks with Webull. I know a lot of you guys were wondering, like, Brian, like, Webull, I heard they got 1 million signups. I heard they're making the best moves. And okay, sounds good, Kev. So Webull's doing a great thing out here too. If you guys want to get 4 free stocks with them, all I'm gonna say is this: with the promotions that we often have in these YouTube videos, you won't find on the public offer. Whether it's me, Kevin, or any other YouTuber, if you sign up on the for any of these apps, just going on the regular app store, you're not getting free money. You're not getting free stocks. So everything I mentioned does not have a limit on how much you need in your account. You can sign up for it. You can do whatever you want with that money. You can straight up just withdraw it back into your checking account. I just want to make sure that all of you have access to free money if you don't so already. So that is all right there if you guys want to check it out. We got Kevin, the legend. He only has a little bit more time. We know, Kevin, how important your time is and how valuable and how busy this man is. So thank you so much. Let's see within the next 8 minutes we can make the best use of it. Chat, if you have any dying questions for Kevin, first tag my name because it'll light it up so I can really catch it in my eye. Let me know if you have any dying questions for Kevin, and I'll try to ask him for that. But Kevin, we did have one super buy question I wanted to ask you. How were you able to make so much profit on Doge? Was this just a fluke, or do you know something that we don't know, man?
Total fluke, man. Total fluke. I would love to take credit and say that I've got some crazy systems that I saw it in the Robinhood candlesticks, which is actually where I bought it. It was actually on Robinhood, which I know I should be using Coinbase. I've been trying to link my bank account for a while with them. I'm just gonna end up wiring money into there. But yeah, no, it was just a total fluke, and that's one of the things sometimes when you get these movements that are sometimes driven by something as simple as Elon Musk putting if there was anything, that's probably what I would attribute it to, is Elon Musk tweeting the dog on the cover of not Vogue, but Doge, right? Implying that he was kind of pumping Dogecoin. That's the momentum that I hit on. I didn't think that it would move that quickly, but that was sort of the ride that I took. And the thing with those sorts of momentum trades is they either work or they don't. Like sometimes you don't get the momentum, sometimes you're too late, but sometimes you get lucky. But yeah, I mean, if there's any catalyst that I was really looking at, it was when that happened, I was like, okay, this is gonna push, and then it's gonna go down. It's the same thing that happened when Elon updated his Twitter bio. He puts in BTC, it goes up 20%, 25%, I think at the high. I'm not sure about that. I'd have to check, but it was at least 20%. Within as little as 1 to 2 hours, and then it sort of has gradually sold off since then. Now I own Bitcoin. I put some more money into Bitcoin recently, and I'm long run bullish there. But I got to tell your audience, hey, as I was sitting here in the waiting room, look at this. I saw this beautiful like button here go from 11,000 to 13,000, and I mean, I have to say, look how juicy this is. Watch this. Boom.
That's a beautiful thing right there. Beautiful sight.
Yeah.
So Kev, I know we got 5 minutes with you. I'm seeing a lot of comments on your thoughts about silver right now. So let's cover that real quick. What are your thoughts on silver's quantity? We're getting news that it is running out. We're seeing a lot of speculation and conversations regarding just the silver industry in conjunction with the short squeeze. So what do you think about the whole situation going on?
Yeah, silver is a huge, huge market. I mean, I think the amount of silver that we have in the world is I'm pretty sure it's over $1 trillion. So now there can be individual funds that have smaller market caps, whether they're exchange traded funds or what they are. So one of the dangers is what worked so well at GameStop does not necessarily have to be replicated everywhere, because GameStop started with a very small market cap. Very small market caps are very easy to manipulate, and that's not necessarily. I'm not saying that in like the bad sense of the word. What I mean by that is, if you have, look, let me put it this way. There's a company called Shift Technologies that has been trading totally sideways for I don't know, probably the last 4 months or whatever. It's this used car company. I think it's extremely undervalued. It competes with Carvana. But just to make an example, if I came out with a video tomorrow, like guaranteed 10x stock, like this stock's going to the moon tomorrow, like this is the next big short squeeze or whatever, and that video got 200,000 views, that company's market cap is so small that stock price would probably go up 15 to 20% in the day. And then day traders are going to push that right back down to probably, this is an equilibrium. But it becomes very easy, and it's scary almost, but it becomes very easy for stock prices to get pushed and then for people to basically pump and dump. Now, I don't sell. I mean, my Doge is one of the fewest sales that I think that's the only thing I sold this year. I rarely sell anything. Well, with the exception of the put option that I accidentally bought on GameStop. But usually I buy and hold. I'm a big buy and holder. So, I get the comments all the time. People are like, oh, pump and dump, pump and dump, pump and dump. It's like, no, when I pitch a stock on my channel and I say I buy it, a lot of people are like, Kevin, how what? You bought this, and then the next week you bought this, and the next week you bought this. You must be selling. No, I still have all my shares of things that I buy. But my point of that is going back to the silver question. Yeah. It's easy to manipulate a small market cap. You look at some of the funds for silver, they're really big. And I don't know that we're going to see the same pump there. I could end up being wrong there, but I don't think, even if we see a push up, we're not going to see the same velocity, certainly, that we see at GameStop.
Yeah. And what I've realized too, and I'm sure you know way more about this, but I just know that there is a lot of manipulation within the physical precious metals market. Even during the stimulus check area, yeah, we saw that pump up like crazy. And some people have theories that there are many funds going ahead and trying to allocate their funds into it just for their own cause. I mean, there's so much that goes into it.
So I can answer. I think I can answer a little bit on that. So I think part of that is sometimes what will happen is you can have almost OPEC style collusion where you have companies purposely trying to restrict the supply of silver to make it like, oh, all of the coins are sold out. Oh my gosh, this must be going to the moon, right? That's a little. I feel like that's different than what's happening from the Wall Street bet direction. Who knows? Maybe that could end up coming. But the Wall Street bet is, hey, here's a fundamentally undervalued company. Let's go long on this. And I support that movement 100%. Silver, I maybe I don't know enough about it. I'm not usually a big precious metal investor. So take my thoughts here with a grain of salt. But if anything, if you hear this perspective, do take into consideration those market cap implications, and also that any kind of bumps are going to have to come from a different source. Again, that like OPEC style, supply restraining, artificial supply constraining that can happen. That I agree with you. Yeah, that happens. Sure.
Okay, Kev. And it's 119 right now, and I want to give you the hardest question, man.
All right, let's hear it.
Okay. Clear Value or Brian Jung? Just kidding. No, let's not do that one. We'll do how about this, man?
You know, there was a moment. I think it was December 31st. Clear Value and we exchanged a very a brief kind of Barry of the Hatchet moment. We haven't spoken since then, but I think that's really great. And it's
y'all truced?
I would say yes. Yeah.
Oh, that's beautiful.
I certainly feel that I have.
See, when I was, I wasn't like one of the biggest stimulus check guys at all, but I was having fun in there, and I felt like, my two like big bros are going at it. I was like, come on, I got love for both of y'all. Like, so I'm actually glad that happened. How about this question?
I'm really happy about that too. Yeah. Yep.
What about AMC or GME? And guys, not financial advice, just regular, just AMC or GME. Whatever you want to say after that is whatever you want to say.
That's the big question?
Yeah, AMC or GME. That's just the question right there.
What's hilarious? I have this affinity for AMC because I've made a lot of money on AMC call options before this craze. I would kind of swing AMC calls back in the early part of this pandemic, and AMC is one of those stocks that has always been on my radar. But it's been fascinating because I have private course member live streams every morning, and in those I'll regularly talk about AMC. And it was about 2.5 weeks ago I mentioned in the live stream I pulled up Robinhood and pulled it up on the screen, and I'm like, man, AMC at these prices, this looks really juicy. But at the time, I was also saying, me personally, I'm trying to go on a little bit of a stock diet because, of the $20 million that I have in the stock market, probably I think about 4.8 of that is margin. And I don't like being more than 20% margin. So I've been trying to pay that down. But I mentioned, dang, these look really juicy. If I wasn't on a stock diet, like this would be something juicy right now. Who knows? And this was before it was being brought up in Wall Street Bets. And it was just solely because it had been sold off so much. I wasn't even looking at short interest. I was just looking at, this is way oversold. And there were some course members that are like, well, I'm not on a stock diet, I'm going in. And so part of me has this real affinity for AMC because I'm like, oh, heck yeah, we were talking about that before. And I feel like that feels really special. But if I had to choose between GME and AMC right now, I would probably be 60. I would probably be both, and I would be 60% GME and 40% AMC. And that's because I think GME is the hype factory, and I think AMC is the coattail rider. So what you have is GME basically running ahead of the pack. And I think they're the ones with the outsized gains, but possibly also outsized losses. We see that in intraday trading as well. And AMC kind of rides on the coattails. Now, if you know that, you could trade that. So that would be my perspective. But that's a really good question. I like that.
Kev, I just want to emphasize how brilliant of a guy you are. Like, it still amazes me.
No.
Dude, if you take any type of like weird omega-3 pills, like, dude, like send them my way. Because if you had asked me the question, yo, bro, like, and you put me on your live stream and you're like AMC or GME up, I'd just be like, my Wi-Fi is breaking up. Someone's at my door. I gotta go. I gotta leave. That's a tough question, and you broke it up in a way where it's like, dude, it makes sense. It makes sense. Kev, thank you so much for your time, man. Just text me or call me if you have any updates on how you want to move forward with this week, because it's going to be a very exciting week as well. I feel bad too because I'm having you on my channel and with all the people like this. So I definitely owe you a position and the time out of my day to be on yours. Guys, audience, follow Kevin. Subscribe to him if you have not yet already. 26,000 people right now. Please go ahead and see Kevin if you have not yet done so.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, Brian. And I've got to say, we are now at 14,000 likes here on your video. So get that to 15, folks. Thank you so much, Brian. We will see you next time, and good luck tomorrow.
Thank you, Kevin. Sounds good, and I'll see you soon, bro.
Thanks.
Alrighty, guys. So that was just one of our guests on this show. Meet Kevin. Go ahead and follow him if you can. Man, dude, Kevin is such a nice guy. Kevin's actually like a genuinely like good guy. I really appreciate that. A family man, 2 kids. Like, what a great guy, man. So for anyone in this live, thank you all so much. And geez, we've been getting some super chats on the side. And I think it's funny because when I said like, what country are you from? I said it like 10 minutes ago. And I think there's like a delay to other countries because I've been seeing all country names for like the past entire time. I'm still seeing them now. So I think maybe there's like a delay where like y'all are getting hit with this live just a little bit later. But I'm seeing almost every country, some countries that I didn't know were countries that were getting posted here. So guys, it's crazy the reach that we're having here. Thank you so much for joining this this live stream, guys. Thank you so much. This one was last minute. Tomorrow is planned, but this one's last minute. If you're watching this video, thank you all so much. So I got a couple more guests lined up. JJ, if you're watching this, feel free to shoot me a text. Humphrey, Bruce, and actually Justin too. I got 4 guys. So guys, I'm gonna do 3 people in my live at most. Last time I did 5 people and my computer CPU went to like 70% and it just wouldn't load anything. So I'm just gonna have additional people in here. I'm gonna try to figure out a way to slow down the chat as well at some point because it's like unreadable at the pace that we're going. So crazy right now. But the biggest thing, let's do a refresh of this lobby. Guys, it is currently 1:26 p.m. Eastern time. We have 24,000 viewers. We have 15,000 likes. Let's see if we can hit 20,000 likes, folks. That would be absolutely insane. We should continue to see the viewership go up. I will have some very, very smart guests on this show. If you guys weren't a part of this show the past few days, one of our guests was Justin O. He was a hedge fund analyst, worked in New York City. He actually worked for one of the companies that we are not big fans about, but he shares a lot of his expertise and from what he's learned over the industry at his age. And for anyone wondering, I'm not a millionaire, guys. I am not a millionaire. The guests that I'm having on this show are millionaires, so I'm just not there yet. Not there yet. Maybe one day, okay? So most of the people we got on here do have a lot of credibility in what they're talking about. And you guys will learn a lot, and I hope you guys have learned a lot. I know there are many people who do. I see all the Twitter messages and my Instagram DMs. So thank you to everyone with the support. Now, Festinity, thank you. The Journey, thank you for the 5. Rabbit, thank you. Shorts, Matthew Westfall, shout out to you. Freya Fox, thank you so much. Martise Wykes, thank you. E. Lee, thank you. Nicholas, thank you. Mr. Cash, thank you for the dono. Rabbit, yeah, we're getting a lot of the same people donating too, guys. Don't feel like you're pressured to donate, okay? There has actually never been a call to action during these live streams in order for you guys to do that, but if you do it, I will do my thing to give back and make sure that your messages are heard, and I'll try to answer them. I know I haven't been doing a good job with that, and I'm sorry if you have put in a super chat and I have not seen it. It's really tough managing both of these going on. So right now at this current moment, guys, there has been some updates made to pretty much the market and what we're seeing inside of the industry. My biggest thing in terms of where the market is going to head Monday, and I need to do a lot more digging into the forums to see where the general stance of the public is on a situation like this. So the interesting thing is this, you guys. We have one side of people who are considering selling, right? Say I got 10 people inside of this short squeeze movement with me. I would say about 1 or 2 of those people are considering that, and then the other 8 of my friends are buying or they're holding. If you are part of the 10 to 20% where you are considering selling, please do that in a non-emotional way. If you're doing this to cut your losses because you can't take the emotional ride anymore, this is something that I would say a majority of people have expected, but I can't speak on the behalf of everyone. I just got to assume that many people may have entered this not knowing what to expect at all. With this type of investing, and I'll mention it again and again, please take emotions aside from this. If you think you've done everything you can and you got to pull out because this is not going to happen, that's when the movement starts to fall apart. I think Hollywood movies are a great depiction of pretty much what we're seeing. Hunger Games, great series. Snowpiercer is another one. I want to play these movies on the screen, but I feel like I'll get shut down from YouTube with copyright. Absolutely crazy when you watch some of these other series and realize a movement it can only happen when you have a majority of the people on board. A movement will start to fall apart when people realize that other people behind them aren't backing them up. I can't move forward and take the Giants down, knowing that if I look behind my back, my boys won't be there with me. I know I'll be here for the people, and I'll be here as long as possible. But I just want to mention to anyone watching this and to anyone on the line that we hope that we have your stance on this too. And it really is a movement, and I don't think we're ever going to see anything like this again in history. And I feel like right now we have our eyes locked on our own individual prizes, but it does go more than that. It does go to the hedge funds and understanding that there is going to be punishment for the amount of they put the people through a lot. 2008 is the best example. Let me tell you guys, I still remember 2008. While that was over a decade ago and I was only 10, 12 years old, I still remember that. Now, I don't remember like the president or like, I didn't even know that they had stimulus until I did research about it later on in the day. But I just remember how tough and difficult it was for all the families. So although in terms of investing, there's a lot that goes on in understanding how to read average volume, the market cap, deciphering the PE ratio. In terms of this, as simple as just holding some balls, right? You got to make sure that you are firm and steady in what you do. So moving forward, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it's going to be our biggest battle. It's going to be the biggest time. I think Friday was definitely a win compared to the hit that we took last Thursday, where people were trying to buy in. And there were theories that we were 30 minutes away from an entire nuclear market shutdown from the amount of volume that we had. These brokerages, think about why they shut down. They could be working for the hedge funds. They could be in the pockets. Or they could be losing out on so much money they can't handle it. It's so difficult to tell where we are with this. But as time moves forward, we're going to start to see things clear up. And here's what's going to happen. And listen up, this is the most important part. And I'm seeing some people telling me to have my screen up just so you guys have like extra visuals, maybe like the market or like AMC. So here's where we are, you guys. This week is going to be the most important part of this entire movement. This is where, if people begin to back down, things will start to fall apart. And we've come so far, and people have become so invested into this, and we've actually created movements within the industry on awareness and recognition on the fact that there is inequality happening all around us in terms of the big financial institutions working their way to go against us, to profit off the people. In the past, it's just been a slap on the wrist. Although they have literally ruined millions of lives in the past through economic destruction of the recessions, the most they got were slaps on the wrist. Many of these banks and institutions still exist today. The biggest thing I'm going to say is that this movement has created so much awareness that we should see some more progressive action. We did not have social media like this the way we did 10 years ago. Wall Street Bets has tripled in size, doubled, tripled in size, depending on what number we're talking about. But at least within this past week, they have easily doubled. 3 million users to 6 million. People are learning about Reddit. People are learning about Discord. People are learning about how to invest. I see it in front of me every single day since we've been a part of this. And I really see y'all as family at this point. I really do. And it's wild because although the only interaction that I'm seeing on my end are these chats, I know that there are real people on the other end of these of my screen. So wherever you are in this world, whatever position you may be financially, and like wherever you live, like I still stand with y'all. Let me say that without stuttering. I still stand with y'all, and I'm here. So guys, my portfolio, hopefully we will begin to see an increase, man. But look at the volatility that we saw this past week. I see this as the wins that our community was taking and then some of the punches in the throat that we got from the institutions. Not being able to buy, but you can sell. And the responses that we're seeing online. I'm so thankful that we have other people who do have money, billionaires, that are sticking up for the little people. I appreciate every single part of this community and this movement. And we'll see where it goes. So now let's do a bit more of an analytical approach in terms of some of the stock movements that we expect to see. So silver is going to be a big one. I'm not going to diversify yet. I have to do more research before seeing movements into that. But I'll tell you this, if you were part of this stream earlier this week, Monday, Tuesday, when I think I started Tuesday, my chat was blowing up Doge for 2 days straight. I said, guys, I'm not going into Doge. I'm not putting my money into Doge yet. I don't know what it's going to do. In the 3 days that we just kept adding fuel to the flame, and I saw Doge going up in my chat section, we saw the increase that I have not yet seen before. So there is so much opportunity right now in order to make money. You guys are here because you want to make money, and I hope you're here because you want to support what has been happening in the world as well. If you align with those two things right here, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for being a part of this stream, and thank you for spamming the chat with all these emojis and all these texts, because I know some of y'all thumbs are sweaty and tired, so it does take a little bit of work, and I do see it, and I do recognize it, and I do hope that hopefully maybe the total of guys, I think tomorrow will hit 1 million views in a day. 1 million people. If 1 million people don't invested $1,000 from the chats that you guys are putting in and the community of encouragement that you guys are seeing, imagine the type of movement that we can have in order to succeed in the short squeeze that we're talking about. Imagine all of that. Imagine the power that we have. And I'm just one YouTuber. There are many more. And YouTube is not the only platform. We begin to centralize the troops. Okay? And we start putting that together. I'm going to show you one of the best photos that I saw in terms of alliances. And you guys are going to love this. And this is what it stands for. So let me get this to the computer. Justin, I see your text. Justin, text me if you need a link to join my guest room. We'll have another show. He's another hedge fund analyst. So much value in this, and just absolute wonderful guy. You guys were loving Justin the last time I was on live. Y'all were asking y'all actually crashed his website. So that's how incredible this is. Okay, Justin, I see you in here. Just give me a moment. I'm gonna go over some images that I have that I want to show with the stream real quick. And yeah, man, we'll do that. So here it is, guys. Let me drop this in here. Let me open up my full screen, my people. Guys, drop a like on this video. We are close to 20,000 likes, 16,640 likes. How amazing is that? 20,000 people are watching. 24,000 people are watching. We got 16,000 people who liked it. Yeah, we got 240 people who disliked it, but, you know, we're always going to have some people hating. We're going to have people against the movement. And if y'all are against the movement, I feel like you're going to be the minority in this. Look how many likes we have compared to that. Guys, this is what I was talking about. Our forces spread out, not having an area of direction to go to. It's easy for the big guys to suck in and destroy us. Does that make sense? I feel like I'm playing a video game. When we organize and we have an idea and an objective of where to go, that's when we can make serious change. And there is some serious power in numbers as well. So we're gonna put that away. I hope that little thing makes sense to you guys right there. Right now in the waiting room, I have my good friend Justin. Like I said, Justin has an incredible background in everything that he's been accomplishing. And if you guys don't know who he is, his name is A Couple Cents. That's his YouTube channel. He has a TikTok with over 200,000 followers. He has a YouTube channel as well. And on top of that, the easiest way to put this, he's a fundamental investing professional that worked in hedge funds and investment banking in New York City. And now he's the CFO of a healthcare technology company. Super smart guy. Justin, thanks for tuning in. Let's get you in here, bro.
Awesome. Thanks for having me. Hopefully the technical difficulties we avoided this time.
Yeah, man. I had to turn on the epic music. Justin, my man, thank you so much for joining the show. I love that you are in here. I know the people got a lot of questions to get answered. Y'all, if you got any questions, and we have the expert in here now, so let's start taking up some questions. But before we do, Justin, how was your weekend, man? How have you been doing, my brother?
It's crazy. It's, as you know, it's exhausting covering all this, but on the other hand, it's extremely fun. I'm great. I love interacting. The reason why we make, I think you were talking about it earlier, Brian, the reason why we make content is to connect with people, right? And connecting with everybody here is just amazing and something that I've never done in my entire career before. And so it's worth all the hard work, and everyone, give props to Brian. Like, he's out here hours and hours a day hosting guests, just hosting the conversation, fully transparent conversation for the people. And it's exhausting for him, and I know how that is. So, so basically, I'm probably to a lesser degree what you're feeling: exhausted, but still really excited and having a lot of fun.
Justin, thank you so much for that, man. I really do appreciate it, dude. The thing I like about you, and guys, I literally discovered Justin's existence like 1 or 2 days ago, because after I did like an 8-hour stream, I sat down on my couch in my living room and I popped up YouTube. I had my Chipotle in front of me, getting ready to eat. And then like in the corner of my browse section on the TV of the YouTube app, I see like a guy who kind of looks like me, and but just looked a little more tan and really smart too. So I saw that you were doing wait, you tell us what you normally do on your live streams. You explain it better than I do.
Yeah. So, I mean, for those of you, you did a great intro. Basically, I am a hedge fund analyst. I started my career out at Deutsche Bank at 60 Wall Street. That's the address. Doing like investment banking. And then I went to hedge funds, one of which was Citadel. I worked at Citadel at a certain point. And on the other side of the house, though, not the side that everyone's angry about.
Not the evil side, guys. Don't worry. He's one of us.
And, and I really think that driving value really happens at companies. So, for the last 3.5, 4 years, I've actually been like a CFO, SVP of finance at a really highly growing healthcare tech startup. And we're doing really great work, basically predicting the outcomes for elderly folks on Medicare. And so doing the finance side of the house, the strategy part of the house. If you see any of my content, for those of you that aren't, don't follow me, basically, I love thinking about growth companies, technology companies, how they fit in the chess game. I've been a chess player my whole life, and like the strategy of such, right? And then so basically, like, from the sixth grade, I invested in the Google IPO, then the Apple IPO, and loved Amazon the whole way up. And the answer is I'm a very technical, fundamental analyst. I can look into the financial statements. And last time, and I can show it again for those that are new, I can do a very deep valuation to get to a price target on fundamentals, which is something that I called Peloton at $50 a share. My price target was, north of 100, and my upside was 150. And, within 6 months, it went to $150 a share. I think within 4 months, actually. So that's kind of like my core skill set is marrying the technical financials and then who's going to win, because this part is actually more important. Who's going to win, right?
Yeah. So guys, if the easiest way to understand that, the best analogy I can make is I have this phone right here as an example, right? If I look at this phone, I'll tell you it's an iPhone, an iPhone 11, and I have a black case, it's black. I will say, Justin, here's his iPhone, and he'll tell me the gigabyte, the RAM, the color, the different chip inside of it, the processing power, the history of what came about this company and what goes on. So there's a lot of surface level investing that many people tend to do. And then there's much more of a deeper dive where you can actually go into things. You can look at the employees working. You can look up the people on the C level team, the CEO, the CMO. How are they as people? Do they have kids? you know, I know it gets a little creepy sometimes, but when you're trying to invest your hard-earned money into some of these brands, this is some due diligent work that Wall Street does. Why shouldn't the people do?
Yeah, and what we're trying to build on my channel, and it's still a fledgling channel, so I appreciate you having me on here as much as you want, and I will be your personal hedge fund guest whenever you want me, Brian. You're such an awesome channel, awesome guy. Yeah, what we're trying to build is equity research for the people. And you know, when things are far off from fundamentals, I can at least explain why. But for examples like Nokia, GME, AMC, that kind of stuff, sometimes you just you're so far departed from fundamentals, but I can at least explain a little bit of what's going on, and I've done a lot of research on this. But yeah, I mean, to your point, right? Like when I'm looking into a company, right? Like if you have the new iPhone, it's probably an Apple A11 Bionic chip, 64-bit. It's based on the ARM architecture. ARM is another stock, it's another company that was an acquisition target. Probably manufactured by TSMC, which is Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Corp. So it's funny that you gave this example, but like I actually, that's
why we did not plan that chat. We did not plan that. I didn't know you knew that, man.
Yeah. And so like, this is just stuff that I love. Like, and so when we do long-term investing, when you guys want to put the majority of your, like the rest of your portfolio, that isn't kind of I want to put the YOLO money behind a certain cause. Or you want to put money behind, you know, betting on sports betting or whatever. The other side of your portfolio, the stuff that compounds growth a lot more, like meet Kevin, who was on here earlier. He's an awesome, super smart guy. Honestly, surprised how much he knows without actually working professionally. Like he knows a lot. He does a lot of research. Like this is the stuff we need to know, right? So when we invested in Peloton, you know, very like deep dives into what the tech is, why all the short sellers on Wall Street, they were short. Citron Research was a heavy shorter on Peloton, and I was like, that's BS, right? And so some things that you don't get is when you're on Wall Street, it's not like a lot of times Wall Street is against each other as well, because if someone is long a stock and someone is short a stock, it's a battle. So I mean, I don't know if you're too young for this, but there was a famous thing with Herbalife. Which is a multi-level marketing, like nutrition company. And you probably know it from sponsoring a lot of like the Premier League soccer jerseys. And Bill Ackman, you guys all know him, billionaire hedge fund manager. He was short the stock and he went on CNBC. And then Carl Icahn, another billionaire hedge fund private equity guy, was he comes on and they start yelling at each other, and he takes the long and they just fight, and then eventually Carl Icahn was actually right, and that was a really bad trade for Bill Ackman. So yeah, I'm happy to be here, guys. Please do put in like questions for Brian and me. I've done a lot of research. I can talk about the state of the markets. I can talk about Robinhood's halting of the stock. I've done even more research from when we went live on Friday, was it? These days are running into each other. And I like the technicalities of it, and anything and all things, you know, above.
Thank you so much, Justin. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, so there's a lot of questions that I'm just seeing right now in the chat that are lining up. So I want to make sure that we get to see some of those, and I'm getting my eyes in the sky sending me some direct messages on questions to answer too. So here are a couple interesting things. Here's a list of what we could talk about that I'm sure a lot of people on stream may be interested in. One, future projections for the high talks about stocks. Number two, just a regroup discussion on Dogecoin, what it is, where it's going, what the potential for it could be. And then just more fun stuff, man, like how this entire movement has changed your perception of stocks, and like what you feel as a ex-hedge fund analyst, and can I say X? Are you still considered doing that, or would that be like?
Well, I would say that's my trade, but I'm not actively in that career anymore. I was thinking before this whole internet stuff, I was thinking like I could always go back and interview and just go get into one. But sometimes like this is more fun. I feel like I'm helping more people, providing my deep professional, highest quality research for just normal people at an accessible price. So like that's, and I like most of my stuff is free on my YouTube channel, to be honest.
Yeah. Perfect. So,
yeah, I mean, you rallied 3 questions. You want to dive right into it?
Yeah, man. let's see. Well, before we do, let's do a little refresh. So many people are asking, where is Bruce Wang? Because I've been on with Bruce for a while. Guys, Bruce has a family. You know, he's got to be at home, and my office is in my home. Bruce actually has to drive out to his YouTube studio office a little bit, but he is on the waiting room, I believe. So Bruce, yeah, I was actually on the phone call with Bruce earlier today. We might get him on here as well. Also, yeah, just to do a quick little lobby refresh. Hey guys, my name is Brian. We have 24,000 current members here with 18,000 likes. Let's get this video up to 20,000 likes as well. We also have some links down below in the description that you guys can check out. We have 4 free stocks with Webull. Webull has been making the right moves in this industry. You can get literally 4 free stocks if you sign up with them. So everything I have in the description of my videos are the best public offer that you can get in trying to get free money. If you guys try to sign up for these apps any other way where you go on the regular public app store, they're not going to give you free stuff. Okay, so take away anything, take away the companies, you're getting free stuff. Most of them don't have any account minimum. No, none of them have any account minimums. You can sign up, get your free money, do whatever you want after that if it means taking your money out, whatever it may be. So links are down below in the description. I also have one really interesting thing, and I want to hear your guys' feedback. So I've been working with one of my buddies on some merch. So we mentioned on this channel that we're trying to get some merch out. And I've had a lot of companies reach out, and I feel bad because so many of them were like trying to do this, but I have to choose one. I'm going to choose the one with the person that I grew up knowing in real life, just because he's trying to do a startup. He went through a lot this past pandemic, and I don't want to go into more details than that, but he's trying to build his brand again. So if I can help someone I know directly who may not have like a multi-million-dollar clothing brand, maybe I can collaborate with someone here. So I have some designs that I wanted to show you guys. Like this is something that we're getting so far. Planned of the Apes. If you guys like this type of design, let us know. He did actually already print this out. So he's like wearing it in this photo here. What I'll do is I'll put this in my video later on today too. But guys, chat, let us know how you feel about merch. So here's where we are with merch. I don't want to go with a t-shirt. I want to go with a hoodie. I think it's winter time. I think hoodies are last more longer. The options we have for this limited time merch, and we can go with cheap quality, like paper thin quality, but that's just not someone that's not what we do out here. So we're either going to get Gildan's or more premium wool hoodies that actually cost like 30, 40 bucks or something to manufacture. Like it absolutely eats into profit margins. But I'm like, hey dude, like let's forget about profit. Let's actually make like a cool merch that we can rock. Imagine like walking down the street, or you're visiting the Netherlands or something. You see someone wearing a hoodie like this. So guys, this is just going to be exclusive for our group. If you're watching this now, you're never going to see any design like this. If it is, it's going to be a counterfeit. It's not going to be the same type of design or same type of quality or anything at all. It's not going to be the OG one. All right. It's going to be some ripoffs. So let me know how you guys feel about the design in terms of some apparel. I will get that built out for you guys. And I think maybe by tomorrow, we may be able to get something. We got hit with a lot of snow on the East Coast here, and it's just been a little tough trying to get processes set up. But if you guys do want merch, I'm going to show it on the screen real quick on what you guys can expect. Let me drag and drop. So comment down below how y'all feel about that. Is this something that you would be down for? Quality over quantity, 100%. I want to do quality, and actually, I'm not even doing this in terms of a marketing way. We can only literally make a certain amount because of the way the pandemic and like the supply chain has actually been. So let me try to put it. Yeah, I can't. I'll put it on a screen share. So if you guys have any other like suggestions, just let us know. Okay, that's what we have so far. I'm trying to get rid of my name up here. I don't think we need it. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see about that. But drop a comment down below how you guys feel about that. Okay, a ton of great super chats too, Justin. Let's go. I'm just going to mention a few of this, and then we'll just get started. So we got one from Nando. He says, hey, Justin, I know Justin explained options really well the other day, but I was wondering if you could make a video explaining them so I can share with friends. Justin, you think you could do that for the people on your channel?
Yeah, let me write that down on my little note on my desktop. It's funny because I'm a relative newbie to the YouTube community, and I feel like there's so many creators that have already created a lot of these videos, and they've even put fancy animation stuff that I just personally don't know or I guess have the time to do. But I will absolutely explain it again. I know we did it live on Friday, I believe, right? So
Yeah.
this video. I'll write that down. There's a big pipeline, but I'll consider it for sure.
Perfect. Okay, so I got another super chat. Someone asked, "What do you think about XRP? Are you aware of that crypto?"
Yes. So here's a little bit of background. So
what is XRP? For anyone who doesn't know,
XRP is Ripple. XRP is the Ripple network. It's the native cryptocurrency that runs on the Ripple network. Ripple Labs is a Silicon Valley style and I believe based technology company. And it's traditionally, like for the past whatever, since it even was launched, the number 3 cryptocurrency by market cap, just in general throughout the universe, right? So I personally invested quite a bit in XRP back like in 2016 or 17, maybe.
Oh, wow.
So for those of you that are new, I basically bought my first Bitcoin at $300. Now I wasn't Winklevoss early, but I was early enough that I've been around for a few of these cycles. And I scaled in that 2016, 2017 type of range. So
guys,
dollar cost averaging it. So
for
clearly,
anyone who doesn't know like the emphasis of that right there, because that's extraordinary. I want to mention that there's not many people who got into Bitcoin that early. Bitcoin right now is $32,716 for one full coin. You got in at $300.
Yeah, that was my first Bitcoin. I only bought one at that price, I believe.
Still, that return is absolutely it's up there. Guys, do the math on that. You'll know that a return just on that one is insane.
Yeah. So yeah, I have multiple Bitcoin and all that. So it's been doing well for me. I would say one of the better investments. But again, like I said, I've been an early Apple investor when I got my hands on the first iPhone. Been really big on Amazon. Like we're up, 60% over 5 months on the ROIC Big Board, which is a paper portfolio I manage at a couple cents.com for the community. So yeah, Bitcoin is one of many very good returning investments. And it's something that I've believed in and I argued with all my hedge fund and all my private equity friends because they're very against these unfundamental, it doesn't produce cash. You guys all know the typical story. These, what I would say, at least at their heart, boomer people, even if they're not actual boomers, they think like boomers, right? It's we like companies that cash flow. Well, I think that we're in a brave new world, and this is something I saw back years ago. And it's not something unique to me. It's something that I was taught by Andreas Antonopoulos and all these other like awesome educators about Bitcoin out there. But we've had physical gold for 10,000 years since humankind's even started walking on two legs, right? And found gold. And that's been our store of value ever since the 60s when President Nixon took us off of the gold standard. Our money has been backed by nothing, right? Money has always been backed by gold. And then from the 60s to the last, 60 years, money has now unpegged from fundamental gold. Now, we also have the birth of the internet over the last 20 years. And the virtual world. And if you think VR is going to happen, you think more and more people are going to be attending concerts, not in person, but on Fortnite, blah, 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 then we should have an internet native gold, an internet native. Like the problem with storing your money in Fortnite credits or storing your money in World of Warcraft gold, right? If you remember that, if you're old enough for that, or I know it's still going on, then like that's just Blizzard saying, I promise that you have this credit and now we can print 1 million more. But Bitcoin is a real currency. It's survived in an infinite amount, like tons of attacks over 10 years, and it's basically internet gold. So I think that Bitcoin, this is something that I've repeated. It's the pinned video on my channel for all my YouTube subscribers at a couple cents. I think that if you believe the internet world and internet GDP is going to be bigger than physical world and physical GDP, which I believe that, because that's just the nature of the way the world works, right? The internet layer and the virtual layer of the world is bigger than the physical layer. Then that means that there should be a virtual layer gold. And if there's a virtual layer gold that is a native like the first thing we found was gold as humans. And so the first thing we found as humans was Bitcoin on the virtual layer. Then therefore the virtual gold should be worth relatively the same as physical gold. Now, physical gold has $9 trillion in market cap, and Bitcoin has, what is it today? Less than a trillion, right? So if you assume that Bitcoin goes from 600 billion market cap to gold's 9 trillion, that implies a half a million per Bitcoin. And for those of you that are new to Bitcoin, I'm not trying to like evangelize here. It's just my thesis. And Bitcoin, you can buy like a fraction of a Bitcoin. You can buy like 1/1,000,000th of a Bitcoin. So I on my TikTok account, I have like 250,000 on there, and 250,000 friends, as I like to say. And then, I get a lot of comments like, oh, I can't afford to buy a $35,000 Bitcoin. Like, obviously, that's going to be tough for a lot of people. And so, but you can buy like a penny's worth if you want. So I don't know. I tend to go on rants. Sorry. So we're happy to talk about GameStop and AMC as well. So anybody, put in the chat if you have
Sorry.
I know we have a few other super chats though, by the way.
Yeah.
And then but this is a probably good time to delve into Dogecoin.
Yeah.
Right.
So guys, here's what we'll do. We're going to talk about Dogecoin real quick. And then Justin, people want to hear your thoughts on AMC and where AMC is headed. Just your predictions. I also do have to stress this. We're not a financial advisor at all. This is all for entertainment purposes only. This is just our predictions. We don't really know what's happening because none of us have a crystal ball. But we will talk about AMC and Doge because it looks like that is what people are just in here for. I think maybe y'all are in here to just hear some fellow Asian brothers talk money. I hope that's the case too. No, but so let's hear your thoughts on Doge and AMC. People are interested in that. And then we also have one more guest in the waiting room, and he is another TikToker with a million followers in the finance space. You guys may remember him, Humphrey. Wonderful, wonderful guy. Super, super smart. And we're actually going to be doing something interesting with Humphrey. We're going to be talking about brokerage restrictions. So right now we're talking stocks with Justin, and then with Humphrey, we're going to talk more about brokerage restrictions, what we saw last week and what we may expect to see next week. Are they going to stop everything again because of money issues, or is it power to the people and things resume back to normal? Guys, drop a like down below on this video. Humphrey and a couple cents, Justin, their links are down below in the description. Go give them a follow and subscribe to this channel if you have not yet already. And one last thing, pick up your free stocks, free money, link down below in the description. If you don't have any of those, free things to you. So Justin, I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, for sure. So just a quick thing on Dogecoin. Dogecoin is a fork of Litecoin, which is in fact a fork and alteration of Bitcoin. But it's basically, no one would argue it's a meme coin. It's a parody coin that was created by, I believe, 2X Adobe engineers. And it went viral a little bit back then. They even sponsored a Dogecoin NASCAR car, which is pretty funny. And so Dogecoin is a parody cryptocurrency. It also does not have inherent value. I don't think it is particularly fundamentally going to be particularly valuable other than as a meme, the meme coin of the internet, the joke currency of the internet. Maybe maybe in a future world, we're all attending a Travis Scott concert on Fortnite and we pay each other for little internet virtual assets using Bitcoin, and maybe some people are using Dogecoin. So it's not even the silver to the gold. It's kind of way out there. Look, I think that it's getting pumped, and I don't know why, because it doesn't have the same fundamental, I guess, philosophy that the pumping of GameStop and AMC is, right? The whole thing about GameStop and AMC is these short sellers shouldn't be allowed to short over 100% percentage short interest. We want to stick it to the man, all these greedy hedge funds. Basically we are the people. We want to show strength and that we can hurt the hedge funds as well, especially with all the previous context of Wall Street gambled away our money in 2007, right, for the 2008 crisis. And that's something that we all grew up with. Where I was young, I think I was in high school at the time. And so Dogecoin to me doesn't have any of that. It just seems very like the internet was was not allowed to trade GME and AMC on Thursday and Friday, and they were looking for another place to kind of to buy and pump, right? I don't like I bought a little bit just for fun. But I also bet against Conor McGregor just for fun on the last, just because the odds were good. And it's like a gamble, right? Like it's fun, yeah, whatever, but it's definitely it's on less stable ground than what the short squeeze mission is on GameStop and AMC. And so moving on to AMC, right? I think that GameStop, my concern with what has happened is yesterday I tweeted out a news article that I read that GameStop is actually, that Robinhood is going to expand trading restrictions to like 50 stocks. And some of them are really big, right? So the whole point of this battle is like, there's a whole trending hashtag about cancel Robinhood, blah, blah, blah. And I know, I've researched the technical details, which I don't know if I want to bore you with, of like what actually happens behind the scenes and why they need to, what is actually happening with the collateral requirements that they're afraid of. But at least with the battle there, you're battling on a philosophical level. Like, we are the people, let us trade whatever we want to, kind of thing, right? But Dogecoin to me is just a kind of it's a fun bet that might get pumped because people want to pump it, and the second they don't pump it, then it'll crash, right? Like, it went up to like 8 cents a coin, and now it's back down to like 2 or 3. And my concern is, because they've halted trading on all these things, now you have a movement that is getting fought against maybe by the brokerages, but it's a deeper story there. And now I see, even in this chat, right, people are like, buy AMC, buy Dogecoin, buy GameStop, hold the line, right? Now we're kind of spread. The mission at the beginning of the week was definitely everyone buy GameStop. We're going to stick it to the man. GameStop. And then after GameStop, we'll look for heavily shorted things as well to go pump later. But it was a GameStop thing. Now it seems like everyone's splitting up a bit, and that's concerning to folks that I think that want the movement to continue. I think the power in the funds flows from retail investment should be concentrated in one or maybe two, but one, in order to send that message. So that's what I think about Dogecoin. There's really no fundamental, there's even less fundamentals and technicals on the Dogecoin front. You're just kind of hoping that the internet, you're early to the internet pumping it, and you can sell it to someone later at a higher price. But with AMC, and so going to AMC is, I think AMC is a little bit it hasn't seen the insane returns that GameStop has, right? AMC is also a potentially bankrupt kind of turnaround story. AMC was trading at like $2 a share, and it's been pumped to $13 a share. But that's not quite as impressive as GameStop going from 4 to 20 to what is it now, like 300 or $400 a share, right? So that's something that's like 100x return, right? And AMC's only seen a 10x return, and it's equally a very heavily shorted stock. So, but I also will say, right, like the internet and Wall Street Bets' rallying cry is for GameStop. So in order for AMC to keep pumping to not 10x, but to 100x, so a 10x from here, so $13 a share to $130 a share, you need to see more rallying cries to AMC. So I don't think AMC is going to go to 130, maybe. Your guess is as good as mine. But if people keep rallying around AMC, then it'll keep pumping, because heavy short interest and low float, it's not that big of a stock. And the fundamentals aren't what we're looking at here. We're looking at just technicals. I think when you look back at it in 3 years' time, are these stocks going to be worth this much? The answer is no, right? That's what I do for a living, is what are these stocks going to be worth in 2, 3, 4, 5 years' time? Whenever this battle is over, I don't think that these stocks will be worth $300 to $400 a share. I don't think AMC is going to be worth $100 a share long term. But that doesn't mean that that doesn't mean that you can't support the movement here and pump it, hurt some of the hedge funds that are shorting the stock, and send a message. So those are my 2 cents, and
awesome.
Happy to talk. Also, the next guest, Humphrey, I think he introduced us, Brian, right? He's such a great guy. He's at over a million followers on TikTok. So definitely, like, I'm really excited to talk to him.
So we got one more guest in here, you guys. With Humphrey, we're planning to focus a little bit more on brokerages, restricting a lot of the trades and things of that nature. Humphrey's been doing a ton of research on that end, so he wanted to share with you guys a lot of great things. So here we go. We got Humphrey in here as well. Humphrey, can you introduce to us who you are, what you've been up to, and how was your weekend, man?
What's up, guys? So yeah, my name is Humphrey Yang. I run a YouTube channel here on YouTube, 70,000 subs. Brian helped me get to 70,000. Thank you. And I am on TikTok. I think I've got like a 1.5 million now followers, not subscribers. And I was just really curious about why Robinhood and some other brokerages actually restricted shares on Thursday. And so I did a lot of research on that. I actually wanted to talk about that. And I know that my video and audio kind of sucks, so bear with me, guys. But I'm also going to try to upgrade my stuff today. So after this stream, I'm going to go to Best Buy, buy some stuff. Hopefully tomorrow, if Brian will still have me on.
Oh yeah, definitely hop on, dude. I'm doing the same thing too. My micro center closes at 6, so I'm gonna try to run in there and get some new computer gear. I think that's all that we've been doing. We've just been like doing these things, trying to upgrade, reinvesting as soon as possible. And it's tough, man. Trying to be here all day. But yeah, guys, we want to make sure the viewing experience is as crispy as possible. So Humphrey, I'm on the same page with you there, man.
For sure. What have you guys talked about already today? Like, Justin, did you already go over and nice to see you, Justin. Did you already go over the restriction of brokerages and stuff like that?
No, I mean, I have. We can talk about that. We haven't. We've been saving that for you, Humphrey.
Oh, awesome. So yeah, from my understanding, I wrote a little Patreon post just for myself, actually, because I wanted to write it down and understand it, and it's completely free. But I watched the full interview with Webull CEO. I watched some commentary on that as well, because he's been the most transparent about the situation. I've also read a couple Matt Levine articles, and he's a Bloomberg finance writer who tries to take a more objective standpoint and likes to show both sides. Although I will say he probably errs on the side of more conservative. And then I also read a couple other articles, but basically, from my understanding, they had to restrict trading because when you do a trade, the DTC, which is, let me pull up my notes real quick. The DTC is the Depository Trust and Clearing Corporation. And basically what they do is they serve as the intermediary for all your trades. So trades settle in 2 days, right? If you buy it today, you actually don't get your money until, like, let's say Friday. Maybe Robinhood gives you that money immediately, but they're taking a risk by doing that, by giving you basically credit. That's a credit, right? So they're basically loaning you that buying power so that you can go buy warrants and do stuff. So the DTC's role is to guarantee that these trades fully execute, so that if you buy a share, you're getting the share. And if you sell a share, you get your money. So from what I understood from the weekend's reading and stuff like that, is basically whenever you do a trade, the DTC requires from the clearinghouse, which is basically the brokers go through a clearinghouse for that to happen. The clearinghouse needs to front about 2% of the trade's value with the DTC. So the DTC actually requires physical deposits of 2% of
Hold on,
the trade
Humphrey.
value.
I feel like we're getting a lot of text noise. Whoever's texting my boy Humphrey, stop it. I got 23,000 people who don't like it.
All right. 1 second. Let me try to mute this shit.
You good, man? Anyways,
I think
you want me to do the elevator music? Oh, you good.
Sorry about that. I just quit the messages. Hopefully they don't come again. My bad, guys. So as I was saying, basically the depository, fuck.
Humphrey, if you're using Mac, go on the top right side of the screen and click do not disturb. It's next to the calendar. It's like a little tab, top right. It's do not disturb. It's like a little like dink.
Sorry, guys. Do not disturb.
Yeah. Top right next to the calendar on the left of it. Do not disturb.
I don't have that. Let me just see if I can do not disturb.
In the meantime, you guys, how is everyone doing? Did y'all drop a like yet? I know we got new people in here. Did y'all go ahead and make that like button blue? If you have not, I kindly ask you to. but do not feel pressured at all. If you don't, I completely understand. But I'm sure if y'all are able to smash emojis into the chat, like you can move your thumb up like 10 inches up and hit the like button too. But if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen. But it happened. Yep, we're almost at 20,000 likes. Thank you guys. Love y'all.
That's
almost
awesome.
there. Yep, 20,300. Y'all are amazing. Okay, guys. So
Okay. It's on D&D now. My bad, guys.
Perfect.
Cool.
So
where were we?
Basically, what I understood it as was clearinghouses need to front about 2% of an actual trade's value with the depository trust corporation, which actually makes your trades go through. And 2%, let's say Apple trades for $100. You buy one share of Apple for $100. That means the clearinghouse will physically send $2 to the depository trust corporation, right? That's basically collateral for them to hold on to in case, something bad happens, but that's a requirement. So what happened was on Thursday, with the volume of GameStop being so high, the DTC raised that collateral requirement from 2% all the way up to 100%, according to the Webull CEO. So if you now imagine billions or millions of shares trading hands and each share of GameStop is worth $200 to $400, that means the clearing firm is required by the DTC to now physically send deposits to the DTC to hold there for 2 business days while your trades settle. And clearing firms aren't that well capitalized, so they can't do that. So in order for the clearing firm to not go out of business, they stopped the settlement of those shares, resulting in Webull, Public, TD Ameritrade, Robinhood to stop trading those stocks. Now, a lot of the apps use one clearing firm called Apex. And so Apex stopped for a period of time restricting those stocks. Robinhood has their own clearing firm, so they have to judge their own risk. And that's why Fidelity and the bigger boomer brokerages, they have their own clearing firms. They're very well capitalized. They could probably take on more of that risk. And also, the boomer brokerages probably just don't have as many memers on there as well, right? Like us wanting to buy GameStop, AMC, Blackberry, Nokia. There's just not that many of them on Fidelity as there are Robinhood, for example. So that's essentially what the Webull CEO said. That's kind of the situation. That's how I understand it. Justin, let me know what you think. Brian, let me know what you think.
Yeah.
Is that correct? Did I explain
that was a really, really great simplified explanation for the people. I think what you just said, that's basically what happens. I mean, I would just add, right, just to emphasize what you just explained, is the way if you back out 40,000 feet, you just think about it. You don't actually own the stock when you buy it in Robinhood, right? You buy it and Robinhood just says that you own it. But in actuality, you're just promised by Robinhood, and Robinhood or Webull or Public or whatever you're using, they need to go settle that with DTCC, which is the centralized settler of all these. DTCC actually holds the physical stock, and usually they keep the physical stock. So all you have is a credit on margin, and because it takes 2 days to settle, everything that is being traded is done on borrowed money. And because it's borrowed money and credits, DTCC is at risk, right? If public.com, which is relatively new, goes belly up because they haven't capitalized correctly, then DTCC is on the hook, right? So that's why they need that collateral. They need, hey, public.com, we're getting all these buys and sells from you, and it's going to take us 2 days to settle. So we'll give you the credit for the stock, but are you good for the money? And public.com's like, we're good for the money. And DTCC is like, well, you need to give us some money to hold at our accounts because we don't fully believe that you're good for the money, or there's a risk that you go bankrupt and you don't pay us back. And so that's what the collateral piece is. And that's so interesting, Humphrey. I didn't actually run into the fact that they increased the requirements from 20 to, what did you say, 2% to 100?
2% to 100%, right.
That's insane, right? So that basically means that these smaller new app folks don't have that kind of money. What's interesting to me though is the boomer, Interactive Brokers, has 10 billion in collateral that they have plenty of cushion because they've been doing this for a long time, and yet they still chose to halt. So some of these are gun to the head to the brokerages, which is Robinhood, Webull, or I don't know, Public, and then some of them are just straight up decisions by the brokerages.
Right. And to actually add to that point, which is because there are so many short sellers, the counterparty risk was high, if I understand correctly, right? Like, and because the price of the stock is so high that the clearinghouse, if they're not able to get the cash from the short sellers because now they're insolvent, for example, Melvin Capital is bankrupt now, or can't afford to actually cough up that money. The clearinghouse has to front the money for Melvin Capital to buy that share back. And if they don't have that money, if Melvin Capital doesn't have that money, they have to go after them later. But in the meantime, they can't front all that money, right? Is that correct?
Yeah, basically, it gets really, really, really complicated. But basically, right, like you buy a share in GME, in GameStop. That stock is credited to your app account, but you don't actually own it, and your cash hasn't even settled because Robinhood is just doing instant deposit trading, right? So you're instant depositing trading, but the money actually hasn't gone to Robinhood yet. So they're just they're fronting you the money. So whether you like it or not, you have a margin account that's using other people's money, like lended money. And so you have the stock, but you actually don't have the stock, and Robinhood doesn't even have the stock yet. Right? It's sitting at DTCC that needs 2 days to settle. And then on the other side of it, what you were explaining is on the other side of the trade, a hedge fund like Melvin Capital owes GameStop stock to their broker because they borrowed it and shorted it into the market. And that's also happening on margin accounts, which is borrowed money accounts. And those shares, like it's like a big domino effect, right? And the hedge fund's prime broker, so they have like their versions of their Robinhood, right? That broker a lot of times doesn't actually have the stock to lend to the short seller. So the short seller is borrowing from their broker, but that broker is borrowing the shares from another broker a lot of times. So you have two directional domino effects of people lending each other stocks and money. And if there's any backup to it, then that increases risk that the whole system falls apart and someone goes belly up, and then DTCC is left with holding the bag. And that's what I assume is why they're like, whoa, this is like crazy. We've never seen anything like it, right? This is the risk modelers with all the quantitative guys never foresaw anything like this happening. So everything was breaking. Even the options like Greeks were breaking at the time, and it might still be broken. But basically, that's probably the reason why they're like, well, okay, we need 100% collateral, and we need, and then basically Robinhood can't afford that, so they probably paused it. But my thing is, Humphrey, I want to know your opinion. Like I fundamentally from whatever Thursday when this happened, if you're going to pause the stock, then pause both buys and sales, not just buys.
Yes. So I was curious about that too, and they actually answered that in one of the videos I watched where they're talking about it. But basically, hold on, let me pull up my notes again. Where is it? So if you buy, the clearing firm needs to front that money for you to the DTC for 2 business days until the firm until the trade settles. If you sell, the DTC doesn't require any collateral for sales because they have the stock, if that makes sense. So basically they shut down one side, and there's still liquidity in the market because people are still buying from other brokerages, is what I understood. So basically that's essentially why, like, you don't need collateral to sell, but you need collateral to buy, which made it look very bad. And I also think the way that Robinhood handled it was awful. Like, they said nothing. They basically said, we're protecting you, the investor, by not allowing you to buy shares. However, that was definitely not, I mean, I think if they said, we're not allowing you to buy shares because if you do, you might actually crash the entire market, that would be way scarier. But that's probably what they couldn't say, right? Because honestly, that might have been the situation if they allowed it to keep happening, or if the DTC didn't come in and say we need 100% collateral. Like, not only does GameStop stop trading, every other stock stops trading at that point, because I think the whole market just breaks down. Apparently,
I don't know if the whole market would break down. You think? I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't think like the buys and sells of Apple would get affected, right? But yeah, like a lot. I mean, things would break. Lots of things would break for sure.
Things would break. I don't know. The Webull CEO was painting a much scarier picture and said everything would break. But I don't know enough. I'm just a normal guy like Brian here.
Yeah,
Like,
listen, guys, this was probably the most important aspect of this entire live stream. We've been on for over maybe 1 or 2 hours. If you guys just heard that, you heard the most valuable information that I think you could have consumed in the course of the past week or two. What we just covered, guys, listen up, everyone in the chat, that was the most important thing to realize. The analysis that you did, Humphrey, and the conclusion that you came to through the CEO interviews and what you've seen on your end, dude, you're on the money. So I mentioned to chat earlier, I had a call with Robinhood CMO, and I gave her my word I wouldn't disclose any of that call because it was private information between her and I. But let me tell you this, Humphrey, everything you said is very accurate. It's very accurate. So a lot of these brokerages were not just afraid of their brokerage going into debt or maybe their business falling apart and their company going bankrupt. They were actually afraid of entire nuclear market collapse. That's what they were afraid of. And I feel like people don't realize the severity of what we saw. If the stock market crashes, like we've seen before in the past, that is not a good sign of an economy. That is not healthy in the direction that we want to take the US economy. And there could be some very detrimental effects. So for anyone listening right now, we are absolutely spitting some fire on this live stream. Go give a like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and let me make sure that you guys have some great people at your resources as well. I'm going to share my screen right here. This is Justin's channel. He's the one right in the middle with this very hilarious tape on his head too. This is his channel. Go subscribe. We got one more. Humphrey has a YouTube channel too, known as Humphrey Yang. And I got to give recognition to my boys. I got to make sure they get credit. This is Humphrey's channel, you guys. He has 73,000 followers, and old Humphrey is talking right there. And Humphrey's TikTok channel is absolutely insane, man. 2.8 million views, 4.4 million views, 2.3 million views. Humphrey with 1.5 million followers. There's a reason why you guys are where you are at right now. There's a reason why you have so many followers, Humphrey. I think it's because you are just able to bring it down to earth with the people. You're able to make it so easy to understand. So guys, if you do enjoy this content, go make sure that they get some love too. These guys don't have to be on this channel, but they are spending their time in order to educate the people right here. And it hopefully you guys are understanding the concept of this situation right here. So thank you, boys, for that. I appreciate it.
No worries, man.
Yeah, no, of course. And I think, I kind of take it back. I think it could crash the markets in the short term for sure. I have some just a couple tidbits to put in. So basically, we hit for daily revenue trades, which in the industry we call DARTs, which are just like a good measure of retail traders. We hit 15 million trades per day last week. And the retail single stock trades represent now 25% of the total market volume on any given day in January. And that was 10% in 2019. So that's more than doubled. So the retail single stock buyer and seller, it's 2.5 times what it used to be. And furthermore, small options trades now represent 10% of the whole overall options market. And last Thursday, so this is 2 Thursdays ago from this data, we hit 23.6 billion US equity shares traded with almost $900 billion worth of like trades, right? Of exposure, which is the largest volume day ever in history. We are in unprecedented times. This is 15% than the higher prior record in October 2008. And I mean, the same, like we can go into like similar thing for options, but all that to say is the core theme is like, yeah, like right now we've never seen more percentage of the stock market from regular people, like instead of institutions, so if things break because of this, for like even retail brokerages break, but maybe the institutional prime brokers don't, which might actually be the case. I mean, if 25% of your volume breaks, I'm sure the stock market will crash like crazy. So I do a 180. I think Humphrey and Brian, I think you're right, and they probably are onto something in terms of at least a short-term meltdown if all these collateral requirements
Right.
busted.
And from what I understand, in 2008, they didn't raise the collateral requirements that quickly, and so basically that contributed to the meltdown. What I heard was the DTC in 2008 took a longer time to raise the collateral requirements when they saw something like this, and so basically they're trying to hedge against that risk this time around by just probably it's a knee-jerk reaction probably, but still they need to protect against a full market meltdown because then everyone loses everything, right? So
especially the retail investor. So in a very roundabout way, maybe they are protecting everyone, but protecting themselves, which in fact protects the whole market. And Robinhood's PR was so bad.
They were so bad.
Yeah, it was so bad because they're also involved with Citadel. That's one of their main the main purchasers of stocks or traders of stocks that Robinhood goes through. So that was another interesting thing that I read from the article is that on Monday there were more buys of GameStop than there were sells, but actually on Tuesday, Thursday, Wednesday, and Friday, it was actually closer to 50-50. So that's what I actually was crazy to me was people were saying they were holding the line, but actual market activity reflected people were actually just buying and selling like crazy, closer to 50-50.
Which we got some frauds up in here. Chat, I hope that's not one of y'all. I hope y'all not saying hold the line while you're going on Robinhood and doing the opposite, man. Jeez, yeah, that is crazy statistics, man. I would not assume that at all, man. Yeah. But guys, I also want to emphasize this right here. Even if we're trying to get you to understand the scope of these things, nobody on this channel here is agreeing on the actions that they took in order to alleviate this. Now, although there could have been detrimental effects, they did not do it right at all. They did not do it properly. They did it, I believe, in the worst way possible. So I don't know. We got one more guest lined up here. This is my other friend, JJ Buckner. JJ, I sent you a link that you can join in order to be in the guest room, and then I'll throw you into the chat. I wanted to hear JJ's opinion on this too, just because JJ has also been running the same, very similar streams here. So I'm going to wait for him to join, but in the meantime, let's just do a quick lobby refresh, guys. We're at 23,000 viewers at the moment of this recording. I believe we may have a little bit more than what we had Friday, which is pretty crazy, man, because Friday we ended with 500,000 total views on this. So guys, drop a like down below on this video, man. Just for anyone new to this channel, we got Humphrey Yang on the left, we got Justin O in the middle, and we got myself here on the right. A lot of people confuse our names, man. I think the color just people get confused because we look so similar. We're all wearing black hoodies and black shirts. So we gotta get name tags or something when we go on these lives, man. But yeah, so Humphrey's the one with the YouTube. Well, we all have YouTube channels actually, but Humphrey also has a strong presence on social media, TikTok, a really great guy. Justin O in the middle. We've already introduced him, but all their things are listed down below in the description alongside any other links that you guys want to check out in terms of just getting free money. We have crypto with Coinbase. We have Weevil for stocks and a variety of other things that you guys can check out as well. I also got a few comments that I'm not subscribed to you, Humphrey. Guys, I don't need to subscribe to Humphrey when I check on his channel 3 times a day to see what homeboy is up to. So I don't subscribe to anyone on my business channel. I have 4 YouTube channels actually, and the other ones I do have a list of people that I continue to watch. But with this one, I just don't like getting bombarded with different notifications. So Humphrey, I'm sorry if I'm not subscribed to you, man. I hope you can forgive me.
If I'm ever at 99,999, I'm going to ask you to subscribe.
I'll be the one. I'll get my 3 extra accounts too. So we just we break through that just in case anyone unsubs.
Get Humphrey that silver plaque.
Yeah, I'm trying to get that silver plaque. Thanks, Justin.
Yeah. Alrighty, guys. So now it is, how long have we been on stream for, guys? 2 hours and 30 minutes. Chat, let us know what comments and what questions you have about the stream. Seeing a lot of emojis too right now. The moon emoji. Seeing a lot of AMC stuff as well too. I think that's a good coverage, man. Just going over where we are with that. So if you are new to the stream, welcome you guys. My name is Brian, and I did enter AMC earlier this week when it was at $4. So I myself personally have been taking an eye at this. I don't recommend any of you guys to see this as financial advice at all. We are just regular people. This is just for entertainment purposes only. I'm going to show you guys my stock portfolio at the moment just to give you a clear idea on what my price target is and where I'm headed in terms of what to expect for the market open. So let's do the share the screen. And we're going to show up my... So this right here is where my stocks are still located. Yes, I know it's Robinhood. I know y'all hate them. I get it. This is where my money's at, though. I can't do anything about that right now. I can't pull this out. I can't transfer it over. I don't want to realize any of my gains. But so far with AMC, with my initial investment of $10,000, I put in another $10,000 earlier this week when it did hit about $11, $12. So my average cost has gone from $4 to $7.61. My total return so far is $15,482. I've made 76% off this initial investment, and we are at a total value of $35,642.50. And I do have another position in Blackberry. With AMC, I did mention earlier on stream, my target to leave this is going to be around, I believe, $35. That's what I believe I have my limit set to. Yeah, so 35. But it really just depends on the volatility of how fast this moves. Things are subject to change. And the reason why I've said it like that is because before I entered this position, I had decided to exit when I make my six-figure back. So that's going to be roughly the same price. It's like $96,000, $97,000 in profit, which I wanted to exit with, and which is what I'm actually holding steady to at the current time of this recording. I do have a position in Blackberry as well, so not all of it is just gains. Blackberry, I am down a couple G's, I believe. I'm down $2,200 off my initial investment of close to $10,000. My value is $7,747. I do know that Blackberry has gone through a lot of, I would say, punches within the past few days. I've been reading a lot of articles on market manipulation and how Blackberry was heavily targeted through this. They are one of my other positions where I believe it's going to take a little bit longer for it to kick in. I do believe that regardless of their short squeeze situation, that it may be a position that you may want to consider. Doing some analysis on Blackberry, they're not a phone company that most of us remember them to be. They've actually positioned themselves into the data world and the cloud world, which is really interesting. So I wanted to show you guys just a little bit about where Blackberry is, because fundamentals typo. But yeah, it's really interesting where some of these companies are, because we look at AMC, we look at Gamestop, and we look at them as trash companies that don't have any type of future. But, you know, there are companies with some type of plan, right? Blackberry is one of them. We can see, like, over the past 5 to 10 years, they haven't been doing too well. Right here, their capital structure is at $1,652 million. So that is absolutely crazy. We got $7,970 million in their market cap. So in terms of a company structure and where they are with their numbers, it really isn't that bad.
What was that number, Brian?
We have 7,970 in the M's.
Oh yeah, so yeah, I'm reading similar. No, yeah, $7.7 billion like valuation for the company.
Yeah, Justin, what do you think about Blackberry? Have you heard about like what their pivot was like planning to be this past year?
I have not followed Blackberry like stock or the company, but I mean, I can give you some quick hits on the fundamentals. Basically, they are kind of been holding flat in terms of revenue. They make about $1 billion in revenue and $150 million in cash flow, or profit, if you will, cash profit. But their cash profit's been declining over the past like 4 years, I guess. And so on valuation, it's a little bit, it's not insane in terms of on sales. So they're trading at like 7 to 8 times sales, forward sales. But like on profits, like they don't have the profits to really back up the valuation at $14 a share. But they do have a turnaround story, basically what you were saying, right? Blackberry, they're doing automotive and IT security products, right? If I kind of look here, I mean, they've totally pivoted. This is something with like cell phones with physical keyboards, and Humphrey and I probably remember that a little bit more. But they're going to start selling software to auto owners, and let's see, cybersecurity is basically the only thing they're doing anymore. They have a security product called Spark. Very large payment in store. Let's see. Yeah, I think they're riding everything on security for connected cars. So I have to look into it a little bit more, but we'll see.
Awesome.
But on fundamentals, it isn't as kind of through the atmosphere as GameStop is. Like legitimately at $14 a share, if you believe they can turn the business around, I think it could be a good fundamental investment. But I just don't know anything about their turnaround yet.
Yeah.
I don't know, Humphrey, if you know it.
I don't know that much about BlackBerry, to be honest. I think that Justin, your analysis is pretty good there.
Yeah. That's the thing right now. Like, so many people are asking us for these type of analysis on these companies, and there are just so many right now in order to keep an eye on. And these aren't the focuses that we have on this channel at the time, just because these fundamentals aren't doing anything in terms of this short-term play that we're seeing. All these fundamentals will be an effect of the long-term investment that you plan on having. So if you're like, hey, I'm not part of the short squeeze, but I will invest into BlackBerry because I know maybe 1 or 2 years from now, it may be a serious investment. That could be one way to put it. But in terms of understanding where we are with this, the reason why many people may not know exactly what BlackBerry is doing is because that's not the concern. What we have going right now is a short squeeze. If anything, they'll be looking at the amount of people talking about it on forums, and you'll be looking at the floating shares or the floating shorts of the shares for that company. A couple other things to note, guys. I have not done a super chat recognition in a while, so I'm going to give a couple super chat recognitions to the people right here, and just make sure that the voice of the people is heard. So let me scroll down. Okay. Thank you, John Nazer. Thank you, Albert. Thank you, Johnny GG. Thank you, Matt S., Brandon Robinson, Luxor, Ramen Senpai, Marcus Egan, and Bashir, Naked Moon, Marlone, Eco City Craft Official, Morpheus, Matrix. I think I know that guy. I think I grew up with him. Mr. Cool, Juan Castillo, Crypto Business. Thank you all so much, guys. If you have not yet smashed the like button, don't forget to do that. We have Humphrey on the right side of the screen. We have Justin O right in the middle of the screen as well. And then we have your host, B. Jung, right here on the left. Thank you guys so much for tuning by the stream. Let's see. We're at 21,000 viewers at the time of this recording, at 22,000 likes. So we have officially surpassed the like to viewer ratio. So thank you guys all so much for doing that. Man, let me take a look at chat to see what y'all want us to cover next. Do you want to hear more about predictions? Do you want us to do more analyze that
Analysis.
I gotta go take a break, guys. 2 hours today. Also, how's the weather where you guys are living? We're supposed to get 6 to 8 inches of snow in Maryland. Good. Sunny California, like always.
Are you talking to me or chat?
Oh. I was talking to you guys. Chat too.
Oh. It's like 55, 56, sunny out here in California. I should really be outside, but I like this more.
Yeah. It's like 50 and cloudy here in Nashville, Tennessee.
Nashville, Tennessee. Yeah, dude. I feel like the last time we were on stream, you had like the most beautiful sun ray coming in on that giant window that you have.
Yeah, I rented this place because I just didn't have time to really set up a bedroom in my house for like YouTubing and stuff. So I'm going to be moving back at some point. But right now it's kind of an empty apartment that I just shoot YouTube videos out of.
Dang, dude. Wait, so did you get that space solely to like have a quiet space for the channel and like the lighting?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
Wow, dude, that's amazing.
Yeah, I think that the sunsets would be amazing there if you're streaming or if you're doing a video. That'd be pretty dope.
Yeah, but it messes up the lighting. You know, you guys know how important the lighting is. So like
Yeah.
the focus on the camera gets completely off.
Oh man.
Okay, guys, man, I feel bad for anyone who like actually has dying questions answered, because then they just get flooded by rocket ship emojis.
I actually have a
You
question.
just got like 5 super chats, I think.
Okay.
So my question is, because of the brokerage chat we talked about earlier, since Robinhood halted shares on Thursday, T+2 would be Monday, right? So they should technically be more allowed to sell or at least offer some more buying of shares than whatever they offered on Friday. Would you say that's correct, Justin or Brian?
I mentioned this earlier. Yesterday they just announced, it's being reported that Robinhood is expanding trading restrictions to 50 stocks, including GameStop. So they might be doing. I think they're going to be doing restrictions. They're already, like, Friday was limited trading, right? Like they're limiting your buys on GameStop on some of these stocks. Like you can buy some, but not a lot. But right now, Robinhood's adding additional restrictions to trades on its platform. It's including like American Airlines, Aurora Cannabis, AMC, AMD, which is a huge company. Like AMD, that's like a mega cap company. Blackberry, Bed Bath & Beyond.
Justin,
BYD.
what is AMD? I'm not familiar with that.
They basically make GPUs and CPUs, like computer chips.
Okay.
And they're big in like the server world, and also they're the biggest competitor to like an NVIDIA video game card. So graphics and they have something called an APU, but it's like basically the brains of your computer, and that's what they make. They design it, but they don't make it. TSMC, which is Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturing Corp, usually makes it. The Beyond Meat is going to be restricted. Churchill Capital, CCIV, I know I saw some of that in the chat. General Motors, it's a big company. Hims, I covered Hims way back when they first went. Moderna is getting paused or restricted. Man, they're restricting a lot of big companies just because they're popular. I don't know. They must be having issues. They've raised $1 billion right on Friday.
Well, my guess is that $1 billion allowed them to say, okay, you can buy some shares of GameStop and AMC that day. You know what I mean? And then tomorrow, when the trade settle, they might expand it a little bit, but they're going to manage their risk as much as they can.
Yeah, and I'm just afraid that, obviously they handled the situation, at least on a marketing PR side, pretty poorly. But I mean, they have popularized trading and stock ownership to the people. They really have so far. And I just hope that when we come on the other side of this, even if people do hashtag cancel Robinhood, I don't know how many of you seen any of those hashtags, but
the meme is like robbing the hood. That's what people are claiming.
Yeah, it's not. So that presents a big problem for people like me and Brian, because we're sponsored by Robinhood. And so, Brian, you had a call with the CMO. I haven't actually had any calls with anybody yet because I wanted to wait till I got all the information and then make sure that, emotions weren't so high when I approached them.
Yeah.
But I still don't know what I'm going to do. But, if you had a CMO call, let me know how that went maybe later.
Yeah, dude, it's pretty interesting, man. Because like a lot of the people who work for Robinhood are just like regular people like you and me. And they're like, they got hit with it hard. And they're like, oh my God, like people think like Robinhood is just this one like corporation entity that's just like doing this. Like their CEO made a bad move, and whoever he was listening to for advice, I can agree that Robinhood did a great job in allowing new investors into the market. But man, they messed up so freaking bad, you guys. It's like, it's so bad. And I feel so bad when I talk to some of their team members, because I'm like, I told them as soon as I started one of the calls, I'm like, yo, I'm like torn right here, because I'm at the point where I want to cuss someone out, but I know it's not you I got to cuss out, but like you have Robinhood's name on it. So it's like, I'm going to just be nice here, and I'm going to just make sure I'm going to keep myself in check for this. Dude, like, and Humphrey, like I've been telling this to my audience, when In me choosing them as a partner, I'm entrusting that they make the right decision, because our brand, we can't disassociate from that. We can't change the way, I mean, we can maybe shave our head and like maybe take on like weird, odd appearances. But for the most part, if they mess up and we vouch for them, do you know how stupid it makes us look that we're a part of them? It's like, what can we do? Like, you're not only ruining the lives of all the investors, everyone a part of it, and people who work in Robinhood, but it's the people who have trusted you. It's the people who promoted you, right? And I'm so torn right now because I cannot tolerate what Robinhood has done at all. And I feel so bad for like the CMO and like her account manager, because they're like, why? Like, they hate being in the situation that they want to be. And I can't speak on their behalf at all either. I just know how tough it is for them as well. So it's kind of like, you are part of, like, say you're part of a family, and say your dad messes up real bad. Like, he's like the leader of the household and he does something stupid and silly that doesn't represent your family at all. Just because you have your last name, you have like this tarnished look now. And that's how I feel. That's how I feel. I feel like I'm like, even though I don't have a significant position at all with them, I really think they just see me as like a little ant or like a little penny or a little shrimp. But it still messes me up, it still messes the community up. It still messes up our like what we've been trying to do. So it's tough, Humphrey. The best thing that we can do is to communicate that with people. I think if we don't say anything at all, and then they see like, oh, we promoted Robinhood before in the past, or we vouched for them, that's going to be the worst thing, because then people start making up these theories or this implications that we're like rats, we're snakes, we're behind his hand. No, guys, we didn't know he was going to make this decision. We didn't know that they were going to do. Yo, if I knew that they were going to do this, I would have pulled out of this immediately. There really wasn't much gain for me to be with them at all. I just thought they were a great app because I've used them for so long. I have a majority of my play money with them, and it's like they do a good job at the fundamentals. So, I don't know.
Yeah,
what do you think? What do you guys think?
Go ahead, Humphrey.
Yeah, no, I agree. Obviously, it's not a great position to be in. I mean, half of why I was so stressed last week was like, okay, well, now how do I deal with this? Because, I've definitely said, hey, get a free stock from Robinhood. I'm sponsored by them, stuff like that. I still haven't had a chat with them, so I'm going to try to get some clarity. But I've tried to be, if you watch my latest YouTube video, I address it in my latest YouTube video. I'm as transparent as can be that I'm really torn. That I don't know what my next steps are, that I'm really outraged because I don't believe in the restriction of stocks. Obviously,
it's so bad, man. Like, that's the worst thing you could do. That is the worst thing you can do. And then the way they handle that, even more. No. It's just burying yourself. Like, guys, I'm not a PR expert, but I could have given you advice that would have put you not in the flames. Like, they're in a fire blizzard right now, man. It could have been embers. They're blowing it, man. It's just, I don't even know they can put it out.
Hired their PR person, they would have done a lot better, to be honest. Like, you know what I mean? Like, whatever they said on those interviews was just so bad. Like, anyway,
I know a lot of the consternation, frustration, and anger with Robinhood specifically is their connection to Citadel, which I think people think of as like the evil hedge fund that is like, I guess, manipulating the markets and being bad to us, right? So that's one side. Now, ironically, that's how it's not just Robinhood. Robinhood, Webull, Public, they all give you zero commission trades. The only reason they can not make money on your trades is because they sell the order book to market makers, and the biggest market maker is like Citadel Securities. But among those are like the investment banks or any of the other market makers. Like JP Morgan's going to have a market maker desk, trading desk, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley. They all are similar to Citadel. So that's how all these companies make the money. So it's almost like, are you willing to pay a commission and a trading fee? And then that's how like the traditional E-Trades of the world or Fidelities make their money. Is I mean, I remember back when in 2008, it was like a crazy thing that it was $10 per trade, right? Now it's $0 per trade, but the only reason they can do $0 per trade is because they sell that order book to a market maker like Citadel, which is the different side of the house than the Citadel, the hedge fund. It's the Citadel, the market maker. So it's similar to how JP Morgan Chase is a branch, like depository bank, but on the other side of the house, they have like a sales and trading market maker business. And then on the other side of the house, they have an investment banking division. So it's kind of, I don't know what everyone wants or is mad about. Like I obviously understand like why there's a lot of like anger
here's the thing,
board.
Justin. I'm sorry to cut you off, but like when it comes to Robinhood, man, I think it comes down. This is what people want. We like having our free trades. We like having easy access to making these things. And most people didn't care prior to this what was going on in the back end in terms of the brokerages, working with other companies. You know, many of you guys may think that something like this now is a big deal, but it has been going on for a while, and other brokerages like Webull operate in the same manner. It's just simply the fact that Robinhood has handled this in the worst way possible instead of just being transparent about it. And I saw a comment too while you were talking, like they're just like, dude, Robinhood, it's not even that they lit themselves on fire. They jumped in lava with the way they went. It's so bad. But yeah, sorry, Justin. I just had to.
Oh no. That I think you're right. I think it comes down to the fact that like I watched the interview multiple times, right? And we did a live stream just like you on my Thursday live stream, and it was like he's not very transparent, and maybe he was just like the person who gave him the script was bad, right, or didn't write it well. I'm not really sure what it was, but yeah, like but they're also the face of it. For some reason, I think that if Robinhood didn't exist and Webull is the number 2 app player for retail traders, like they probably would have taken the brunt of it. Although it sounds like you think that Webull handled it a little bit better, Humphrey, in terms of their PR.
At least the Webull CEO was pretty upfront and transparent, and you know, proactively went on a couple talk shows to try to get you guys the information. But it still took 20 minutes of him talking to get the full story, right? Like it was a long listen. And a lot of people don't have the time for that. And a lot of people don't even understand it, frankly, right? So it's that, you know, these Robinhood PR people are so detached from what a normal person talks or you know, language understands that they just like come up with some BS stuff. And that's why it's bad. But I do agree with Justin. If Robinhood wasn't the number 1 stock brokerage, let's say Webull was, or let's say Public was, the same thing would have happened to either of them. Just because of the increased volume and the collateral requirements. So that's my personal belief, but Robinhood still messed up in my opinion because their PR was so bad. And, you know, it's still, and the connection with Citadel, not good. And then the other thing is that, sorry, I lost my train of thought.
Yeah, no, I agree. So it's funny, right? They get all the bad rap because they use Citadel. So Robinhood, I believe, does more on the trading front in terms of the integration stuff than Public or Webull. Like I think Public and Webull are much lighter apps that let Apex do most of the work versus Robinhood does a lot of the work and then deals directly with the prime market makers, the largest of which is Citadel. And it's unfortunate. So now you can say, right, like there's a whole nother layer, right? Since Robinhood is bigger and does more, there isn't a layer between them and Citadel. But Webull and Public, they have a layer in Apex between them and Citadel, right? But at the end of the day, Citadel's the one making the trades happen through DTCC, right? And DTCC is at the center of all of it, right? So PR-wise, it might hit Robinhood even worse because Webull basically said, "Oh, Apex just paused us," right? And people hear Apex and they're like, "Okay, it's another company." But when Robinhood says, "Well, we're dealing with the collateral stuff, we are doing whatever," and it's not a Citadel thing, they hear Citadel, and then they see on the other hand Citadel, which the other side of Citadel's business funds Melvin Capital, and then it just looks so bad.
And then,
having at Citadel on one side of the house. Like there's legitimately regulatory firewalls between the two sides of the business. So again, maybe there was nefarious things that has the same CEO at the end of the day, but like people working there aren't. I know that most levels of people working there aren't like doing insidious things, but maybe there are things going on at the top that I don't know about. Sorry, Humphrey. I was just finishing up.
The other thing is that Robinhood is his own clearinghouse. Is that correct? Because they're so big. That's what you're talking about. Because I think they have
versus Apex handles a lot of that stuff for Webull and Public.
Correct. Yeah. So that was the other thing that was interesting. But anyway, Brian,
Yeah, so guys, we haven't mentioned any of the super chats in a while, and I'm so sorry if we did miss them. I saw a couple comments. They don't answer the super chats. No, guys, we're just kind of in the zone right now, talking about some important things. But I would say about 10 to 15 minutes, I'm taking a look at the clock. I'm trying to answer some of these super chats for you guys. So we're gonna just start down the list from the latest one that we had. Is ticker symbol TAAT a rocket ship emoji? I don't know what TAAT is, man. Let me look at it just really quick. I don't want to give too much time onto each individual stock because all y'all are given that. Ticker symbol TAAT. I think it's a tobacco. TAA.
That's what I do on my live shows. People give me tickers, and I just try to do a really quick summary on it.
What do you see? You see anything interesting on this? I see it's a cigarette
It's
company.
Canadian.
$2.
Tot Lifestyle and Wellness on the Canadian Stock Exchange. Is that it?
I think so. Let's see. Yeah.
Yeah, tobacco flavored CBD enhanced cigarettes.
I don't know why that's so popular lately, man. People keep pumping up like these like $1 to $2 stocks that are in the like the cannabis industry or like some type of medicinal, like just a drug, bro, or like.
Yeah, hold on.
It could be recreational drugs. It can be things like that. None of us here, by the way, just as a disclaimer, recommend these companies or recommend you guys doing any drugs at all. Don't do drugs, guys. Not good.
I can share my screen if you want to.
Go ahead and share your screen. That'd be perfect. We'll do like a 2-minute little summary of some of these stocks that you guys are asking us to review.
So basically, this is the company right here, right? Like it's a $2 stock. Everybody wants a $2 stock because it's easy to trade. I'm sharing my screen, I think. I'm not sure if it's showing up.
Let me I'm not seeing it at the moment, Justin.
Oh. Okay.
Guest one, maybe? Hold on.
Anyway, I'll just keep talking. Basically, yeah, they're Canada-based life sciences company. I mean, they make CBD products, but so does everyone, right? There's no real fundamental, like I think they're pre-revenue, right? I mean, I have to look at their Canadian financials, but it's like a pre-revenue company, and they're just saying that they're gonna whatever. We can skip past that. But I will say, it is popular. I did a write-up in November about the best cannabis stocks that I looked at. And so this is at my website at couplecents.com. So go check that out. I think this one specifically was a free article. And basically what I said, what I really liked was Tilray. Let's see, Curaleaf, Green Thumb, and Trulieve at the time. I do know that Tilray is like skyrocketed, but like if you think about what Tilray is, they're unprofitable. They're Canadian. They have $100 million joint venture with AB InBev, which is like the Budweiser company, and the valuations are kind of still insane. So there's not really much fundamental reason to buy some of these unprofitable guys. I think some of these profitable guys are really interesting as long-term investments. But at the end of the day, what the market is looking for is a cheap stock that they can buy. I think there's a cognitive bias to new investors that they say, like, when I say go buy Amazon stock, they're like, well, I can't afford that, even with fractional shares. And they want to buy a lot of stock, right? Even though it doesn't really matter. And that's something that I know, like, both of you have kind of educated with. It's like, it doesn't really matter the price of the stock. It matters the dollar amount. I think, unfortunately, right, a lot of these kind of low price stocks don't have a ton of like fundamentals. I mean, we don't need to keep talking about this, but it doesn't seem like they have, here's an interim financial statement, and they make how many Canadian dollars a year? They make 64, or they make like $100,000 Canadian dollars a year in revenue.
It's just not here's what it comes down to.
That's guys. Like less than a YouTube channel.
Yeah, there's going to be thousands of companies to invest in on the stock market. And, if you think, randomly a magic one is going to be the next thing because maybe someone at work told you to because they have a position in it, you just got to know that some of these smaller stocks, man, they're very, very risky. And nowadays, because of fractional shares, you have access to any stock, any verified stock, any stock that is probably not going to go out of company or out of business and get delisted. So, I mean, what I realized too, in terms of like investor psychology, many people don't like going fractional ways because they just like seeing the whole number, which is kind of odd itself. But generally, people like seeing like, hey, I have 20 shares instead of 20.12345. It just turns them off. So if your buddy or someone, or you discover one of these stocks, I don't necessarily know if it's going to go to the moon. I just know that there is a lot more risk at play. And for people who don't know how to look at company fundamentals and see the market cap and the average volume, it can be a very risky trade. And that is something I was a victim of in high school. I saw like a stock from someone who told me that it was doing well, and then it crashed. It went out of business. And then I didn't want to invest for 3 years because I was like, stock market, you can't make money. So, yeah, that's what we got right there. And, we got some other donos, guys. Thank you to Paul Rollerson. Nokia, would this be a good short after WSB is done with AMC? AMC to the rocket.
I have some stats on shorts, by the way, if you want. So this person's asking about, is it a good short?
Yeah.
I think you're putting, just personally, I think you're putting a target on your back.
Yeah.
Right. So I found some data from Goldman Sachs, and let's see, let me pull up my notes here. Most short, a basket of stocks that are the most heavily shorted have outperformed the hedge fund VIP stock basket by 13% in 1 day last week, which is the largest one-day move in this shorted stock basket since 2012. The most heavily shorted basket of stocks is up 55% for the year. I believe that was for just January. So what's actually happening is, at least I don't know how long it's going to last, but basically these heavily shorted stocks, like what was the stock again? Nokia. They're getting targeted by the internet to short squeeze, right? And so that's what happened on Thursday, Friday, right, when they popped, right? And what I'm concerned about, right, if we're for the GameStop movement and like breaking the system and just wanting to see the hedge funds burn, that kind of thing, if you want that to keep happening, I'm concerned that now everybody's spread around, like buy GameStop, buy AMC, buy Nokia, buy Blackberry, now I see a lot of people saying silver, like you're going to buy metal. You're going to buy the metal, and you're going to buy Dogecoin. So now what you take in, let's say there were 10 million people buying. It's probably more. So let's say there's like 100 million people buying, and they were all buying GameStop. And now you like diversify, everyone's like distracted. And now you only have 20,000 people buying GameStop, 20,000 people buying Blackberry, 20,000 people buying Nokia, 20,000 people buying Dogecoin, and 20,000 people buying silver. I think like the net effect is those stocks are all going to pump less than if they all focused on one stock and like solidified as a team. I believe Wall Street Bets is still rallying around GameStop, right? Am I crazy, or has that changed since the last day?
Dude, not much has changed with that. I feel like everyone is still kind of just split between whether or not GameStop is going to continue to rise, or if AMC is the next train to all aboard. It's still a mix, man. Humphrey, what do you think the general consensus is like in public opinion?
Yeah, like I read a lot of Wall Street Bets just for informational or interesting purposes, but it feels like they're still GameStop holding the line, but the next biggest one is AMC.
Yeah.
And then like the other, the kids are like Dogecoin, but it's mostly AMC. In the Discord, I'm in the Discord as well. It's mostly AMC that they're talking about. That's next after GameStop. So I essentially think because none of these stocks are trading on their fundamentals, it's now just a hype train. And if you want to get into, like for me, I wanted to buy more AMC on Friday because I knew that the movement wanted AMC. So I was like, okay, I'm going to buy some AMC. I'm going to take advantage of that. And I'll hold the line with GameStop, against the hedge funds. But if I'm just trying to make some money, I'd probably pour some money into AMC like you did, Brian. But yeah, and then Dogecoin I just don't touch just because I don't think it has any intrinsic value. But I'm sure you guys already talked about that on this stream. But in general, it's good to keep an eye on Wall Street bets. Whether you're holding the line, whether you're trying to make a profit, just quickly, you want to see what the next trending thing is. And it's clear that the internet has some power here in actually moving stock prices. So that's what I would say.
Yeah, man. It's so funny. I never would have expected Doge to be blowing up like this, but what I've noticed is Doge has really become like the symbol of the people. I made this tweet yesterday on my Twitter, man. In Hunger Games, like Katniss had the Mockingjay, right? But Doge is like the meme, like that is literally the dog right there as the crest, the symbol of hope for the people. So it's just hilarious to see that people are making money off that, and it's hilarious to just see that it's Doge that we're doing. I think if it was Bitcoin, it'd be a different story.
I have a question about that for both of you. If someone's making money on Doge, that means someone's losing money on Doge. Is that right, or am I wrong on this one? Because isn't it a zero sum game with Doge?
I mean, at the end of the day, it's all like trading securities is a zero sum game if they're not, if you can't back it up with cash flow and fundamentals, if that makes sense. But at the end of the day, right? Like, do you think that someone who sells at 40 cents a share, or sorry, 4 cents a coin, I guess, but is still profitable, is a loser if that goes from 4 cents a share to 8 cents a share? Like, if you consider that a loser, then yeah, everybody loses. But unfortunately, I think what happens is when you don't have, what fundamentals do is they give you a legitimate foundation of why something should stay a certain valuation. And if you don't have fundamentals ever, then eventually the thing will fall on itself, right? You kind of Icarus to where the fundamental value is. Icarus, the Greek thing where the guy flew too close to the sun. So that you get the same thing with like super high flying stocks. I didn't like Zoom Communications or Beyond Meat because their fundamentals were down here, but the valuations were up here. But with Dogecoin, like there's nothing, right? And so you're just, where do you fall? When is too close to the sun? No one can predict that. It's just at some point you're going to get too close to the sun. It already went to 8 or 9 cents a coin, and now it's at 4. So a lot of people lost money buying at 8 cents a coin. And with AMC, the valuation right now, AMC is a little bit more like has a better fundamental story because it hasn't ripped as hard as GameStop has. So I believe if I just look up AMC, right, the whole story around AMC is, well, one, there was some acquisition story with Amazon possibly buying AMC, which doesn't seem to be the case, but who knows? But right now they're trading for a $6.2 billion value. So the market is valuing, $10 billion valuation. $10 billion valuation for AMC on zero profit because nobody's going to the movie theaters and basically very little revenue. But they made $5.5 billion in revenue in 2019, and they made $770 million in EBITDA or profit in 2019. So if you think that they fully recover in the next year or two and survive until then, which I think they have enough capital, and survive and don't dilute shareholders too much, then that means that gets you to like 800, let's say 700 million in profit, and the value of that kind of business on a relatively stable to kind of slowly dying kind of theater business is probably like 6 or 7 times the EBITDA or profit. So that values the company at like, I don't know, somewhere in that $5 to $6 billion range on a fundamental valuation basis. But that doesn't mean to say that this thing can't skyrocket much higher as long as the internet locks arms and pushes the stock, because it's a very heavily shorted stock. And what's going to happen is what happened with GameStop. Unfortunately, I think the rocket ships like GameStop aren't going to be repeated because the brokerages and the clearinghouses, and there's like OCC, which is an options clearinghouse, they're not offering the options that allow that second rocket booster, right? There are two rocket boosters. One's the first short squeeze, and then there's another rocket booster, which is the gamma option squeeze. But right now, no one wants to sell a call option to you, because if I sell you a call option and the thing skyrockets, then I lose my shirt. But so nobody's selling call options now, and if they are selling call options, the premiums are basically asinine. So I think you've lost one of the boosters going forward. Now, that doesn't mean that AMC can't go from whatever $13 a share to $50 a share, but I find it hard to believe the thing's going to 130.
Yeah, I think the day to get in on GameStop was Wednesday, probably. If you want to buy a call option, Tuesday or Wednesday before all that crap happened, that would have been the best time. I personally bought a Monday call option on last Monday, and that did really well for me, but it expired on Friday. So but it's interesting, the gamma squeeze too. Yeah, because now people are cognizant of it now, right? So they're gonna reduce that. The option writer is not gonna take that risk.
No one's taking that risk. And if I did a little TikTok about how like you can't, if you're a buyer, the call options are so expensive now because nobody wants to write call options and sell call options. And if they do, they're so expensive that you might as well just buy the stock, because if it 5Xs, the returns are basically the same, if not even worse. So
yeah,
just
everyone should
just buy the stock.
I think that was when GameStop was at 300 or something, and you were saying like it basically needs to triple for the same value of your call option, right? Or the same result of your call option.
And you only have 2 weeks. So if it's not above that in 2 weeks, you lose all your money. Yeah. Versus if you bought GameStop stock, you can, and it stays flat, you didn't lose any money. So it's just a better risk reward just to buy the stock at this point than the options.
How do you think this ends? Do you think that GameStop might actually offer more shares up and dilute the shares out, or what? Like, do you think that's a possible option? Because that's one of the options I've heard of, actually, is perhaps GameStop just starts to offer more shares.
If I were them, I would, right? As a publicly traded CFO or CEO, what you want to do is, when your stock is very highly valued, I'm not going to say overvalued, but if you think the valuation has gone above maybe where you're comfortable, you should probably sell shares for cash, because that means that you dilute shareholders less for more cash, because it's just like, right, the more expensive your stock, the more money you can get for the same amount of stock, if that makes sense. Yeah. So I would, and that would give them a ton of money to go build whatever they want, which is e-commerce for video games. But I still don't understand how they're going to displace the Xbox Gold Store and the PlayStation Store, Sony PlayStation Store, and Steam. Like, I just don't understand. It's not a money thing. It's like, if I'm an Xbox player, I'm downloading through the Xbox Store.
Right.
So I never really understood how they're going to chewy this. Like,
yeah,
sure, maybe they Netflix it and send you discs, I guess. But if I were them, like, honestly, I think you try to do the e-commerce thing. And then you maybe double down on the popularity of collectibles like Pokemon cards, and you like kill everybody in the Pokemon online e-commerce world. But I don't know.
So let's say they do offer more shares. What happens to what? Do you think that is one pot? So let's say they did offer, I don't know, let's say they started to offer, how many shares are outstanding, like, of GameStop? Like 80 million? I don't know what it is, but let's say they offer like another 20% of what their total shares are. What happens? The price goes down a little bit because, there's the same amount of demand for more shares now. So price goes down a bit. No,
I mean, I think it's a push and pull. So on one hand, the market may love it and say that the company is now flush with cash, which it's going to use to they're going to build the GameStop console and kill e-commerce on gaming, right? So, but on the other hand, that means that the shares that you own, so if you own 100 shares and you dilute the cap table by 20% for round numbers, right? Like, that means your shares are worth 20%, or your ownership of the company is 20% less than what it was. So if the value of the company hasn't actually changed, but they issue shares, your ownership percentage of the company goes down, but now the company has a bunch of cash. So the difference in value is, do they spend that cash well, or do they spend it poorly? If they're spending it poorly, like in airlines or AMC, they're just spending the money to survive and burning through it. That's going to be bad for value. But if they spend the money and go acquire like, I don't know, like Activision with it, and they somehow pull a rabbit out of the hat and like kill e-commerce online for video games, that's a good use of cash and could be what we call accretive versus dilutive. Dilutive means bad for shareholders. Accretive means good for shareholders. So you have to really trust management. But honestly, if I were Cohen, right? Cohen bought the founder of Chewy, who's now in control of the board with some activist hedge funds. He bought in at $4 a share. Like at this point, the guy's probably looking to sell the whole thing. That's my opinion. But if they do issue shares, then they just have a bunch of cash in a war chest. And the question is, what do they do with that war chest? I mean, my issue is, even if you had like Apple themselves, they're trying to break into the e-commerce video game industry with Apple video games, right, on your Apple TV. You got Google Stadia. You got all these like cloud gaming guys trying to get in. But at the end of the day, like, how are you breaking the vice grip of PlayStation and Xbox? Because people are going to just buy Xbox games and download them on their Xbox if they already have the Xbox. This is the reason why I like Roku. This is the reason I liked Roku, but this is the reason why I like Peloton. This is why I like it's a genius thing for a company strategically to put in hardware, evergreen hardware into your home that you use a lot. And then they can start selling you software as a service, which is the subscription, like Xbox Live Gold, and just upsell you things, right? The reason why Roku sticks and Amazon Fire sticks and Apple TV, well, not Apple TVs, but those two are priced, they lose money on every Apple stick they sell you. But they know that if you plug it into your TV, that's how you watch TV, and then you can sell a bunch of stuff. So the question is, how would a GameStop come into your home through the internet? And I fail to see how that works. I think it would GameStop was a really great, really potentially really interesting investment at $4 a share, even $20 a share. Right now, they're trading at $325 a share as of close Friday, which is $23 billion enterprise value, and that's going to be a really hard valuation to fill out. Sorry, that's my opinion on it. And if they issue shares, it's like that means that they better have something good to do with that cash. Do you think that they can use that cash well? I'm not sure. Do either of you play video games? Like, I've always been a very big video gamer.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I play a lot of, I'm on PC a lot, but yeah, I understand.
League of Legends, baby. Chat.
do you think that they would, do you use Steam?
Yeah, I use Steam, but I don't think they can come in just like that, like, and take over any of the incumbents. That's going to be like almost impossible for them, right? Like,
especially on the consoles, but for you PC gamers, like, maybe, I don't know.
Oh yeah, maybe.
I mean, would you say, like, if they start underpricing their, like, if you could buy the next release, like, what's a game you're excited about? But let's say there's a game coming out and they instead of $59.99, they price it at $54.99 through their GameStop app versus Steam store. Like, would you buy it through there for $5 difference?
Yeah, possibly. Yeah.
So maybe that's how they do it. I don't know.
Maybe that's how you do it. I don't know. Yeah, I'm not a corporate strategist or anything like that.
Yeah, so that's where I really nerd out about, like, is the corporate strategy of it. But you guys, right, agree, like, you can't displace PlayStation and Xbox store if you have an Xbox or PlayStation.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. All righty, guys. I'm going to do a little circle back, just do a refresh of the room, and I also have one guest that's also going to go ahead and join us too. So, guys, we are currently at 3:22 p.m. Eastern time, and it is 20,000 members watching this. 20,000. Guys, if you have not yet subscribed to the channel, make sure you guys do. Humphrey, the one in the middle right there, has his YouTube listed down below in the description. We have Justin O, also known as A Couple Cents. He is linked down below in the description as well. Go ahead and make sure you shoot them a follow. And last but not least, don't forget to check out the links down below in the description. We have I have a $10 Coinbase link that you guys can check out, $10 to Cash App, and some other links that you guys can see as well. I hope you guys are all finding a lot of value from this live stream. If you guys have been paying attention, I know that your brain has gotten just a little bit bigger, hopefully, through our conversations and from the education that we're teaching you. Make sure that you do stay, I would say, attentive to everything going on in the market right now. And you know, the biggest lesson that I've learned personally, just by having the ability to talk on this platform this past week, is just really how crazy the movement has gotten and really how passionate many people are. Like, usually in order to depict how emotions are felt, I often have to see the person's face. I have to meet people in person to see that energy. But it's crazy because even through the chat itself, I can feel y'all's energy. Like, I can really tell that what we're talking about right here is not something loose that many people are just going to forget about. This is something that's going to last forever. And hopefully a long time, hopefully forever. And another discretion that we need to make, none of us are financial advisors. We are just average Joes on YouTube. So if you guys are wondering, who are these three people that I saw on my YouTube homepage? We're nobodies. We don't got any ties with anything. We're just talking here. Don't take this as any type of real advice. We're here for the people. We just want to share our opinions, have a conversation with one another, and just hopefully have this a safe place where you guys can just see the energy and see where things are headed. So yeah, guys, that's where we are with this. I know tomorrow is going to be a big day. I hope that a lot of you guys get rest too. I'm not planning on closing this just yet, but I do have to make it into Best Buy or the Micro Center and pick up a new computer before today ends, so I can make sure that I have enough capabilities for tomorrow. So I'm on Eastern time. I just want to make sure I can do that at some point. So right now, don't worry, we're still going. We're going to be analyzing some stocks too. And Humphrey and Justin, if at any time you guys have to go, just throw up the peace sign like usual. And let me know, and I can make sure to close you guys out. But thank you to these bros over here for staying on this. I just want to say you guys have been absolutely amazing, and I know the audience, dude. Whenever I'm here by myself, I get comments like, "Yo, where's Bruce? Where's Justin? Where's Humphrey?" Like, it's pretty crazy because I think they do see you guys as part of the fam now. So appreciate every single one of y'all. My biggest comment that I want to hear from chat is, where do you guys see some of these stocks hitting tomorrow? Is AMC hitting $100 tomorrow? What are we going to see? It's going to be exciting. And I know some of y'all think that tomorrow is going to be a very scary day too. And that's okay if you do think that. But this is a whole group of people behind you. So it's not just one or two or even the 25,000 people on stream. This is millions of people from all around the world who is backing this up. So you are not alone. We are all in this together, guys. Drop a comment down below. GMC to 500, AMC to 25, AMC to 50, AMC to 50. AMC to Pluto, to the moon, GME to $69,420 easily. That one's probably the best one there. Wow, the chat is blowing up. I love the optimism going on in there, but I also do have to reiterate, guys, be financially responsible in whichever direction this goes. We hope that you learn how to invest properly and wisely through the content that we share. So thank you guys for all of this. And then let me recognize some super chats as well too, and then we shall move forward with this. Super chats. Where are y'all, super chats? All right, guys. Ely, silver would take down the banks. Silver has always been another form of... okay, instead of wording it that way, the fiat currency itself just has so much instability, right? And if we were to get a piece of dollar, that dollar really has no value at all. We want to say that it's backed up, but that dollar, that piece of paper is held by what we have created behind it. And Justin, correct me too if I'm not wording this correctly at any time, but the precious metals behind this actually do hold their value in case any of the systems fall. You got anything for that, Justin, that you want to add?
That depends. Traditionally, gold has been a hedge against inflation and has held real tangible value. So the way you should think about this is, how many loaves of bread can you buy with anything, right? So how many loaves of bread can I buy with Apple stock? Like hundreds, right? How many loaves of bread can I buy with this a little bit of gold? Like that's how you should measure like what real versus like artificial value is, right? And so yeah, like I think gold generally holds, it's the big daddy, it's been the big daddy asset and store of value for, I don't know, the thousands of years since we found it, before we even had the written language. And so as we like print our money to oblivion, like in money supply increases by like 30%, gold should be a good kind of store of value at the very least. So I mean that's how I would think about it. But also, if the market keeps going up, like gold may underperform as well.
Yeah, I feel like the best analogy or the best evidence that we've seen in history is the Zimbabwe. You guys may have like learned this in history class. It's like the barrel full of money and absolutely losing value. So to just break down inflation easily for many people, because I didn't have a good understanding of this for a while, but inflation is just simply, if you go to the grocery store, you're trying to buy, we'll do bread as an example since we've already spoken on that subject. Say you want to buy a loaf of bread. That same bread a few years back, or maybe even a decades back, was, let's say 10 years ago, loaf of bread was $2. Right now, if you try to get that same one, it's $3-4. Not much has changed other than the inflation of the money. This occurs from a variety of things, but mainly this past year, the most significant event has definitely been the addition of stimulus and the amount of money that's been pumped into the economy in the US. It's one of those things where if you guys don't trust fiat, which is just money like dollars or currency, what people tend to do is to look into other forms of currency that isn't relied on the system, the government, right? And then we have gold backing that up, which you can put towards and guys, when I'm talking about gold, I'm not talking about like jewelry or stuff. They don't have like the same purity, which I believe is like the best term for that, right, Justin? Like purity of the gold in order to see it as an investment compared to the infusion, like how do they, sorry, it's on the tip of my tongue.
So wait, are you asking why gold?
No, not really why gold, but pretty much pretty much.
Are you talking about carat quality of gold?
Yeah, carat. There we go.
I mean, yeah, I guess like the high quality carat gold, but I would say there's a difference between like investment gold and jewelry gold.
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Like, so you can keep going.
Yeah, I mean, so precious metals itself has a whole wide variety. You don't have to just use gold. Gold is actually pretty expensive as a consumer investor to get into. That's why maybe things like silver may move a little bit more. I know palladium is another precious metal, but these are all things that you can buy online. You can actually buy on eBay too. And I would make sure that you look at the seller's rating and you take a good look at it. For me, I have been into precious metals for the past few years. Some of my friends are heavily into that market as well. And the beauty about that is with cryptocurrency and other stock investments, you may just see the digital number. But when we're looking at actual physical commodities and precious metals, it's nice because you can actually physically see that type of money in your hand. Some of you guys may not care too much about it, but when you do get into investing and you like seeing your money in person, this is when it gets exciting. But that's not the main reason. People don't get precious metals or invest into this because they're like, oh, I want to see like gold bars in my room or gold coins. This really is another form to combat inflation and other risks that we have with the dollar. If the economy,
I just don't know why you'd buy silver over gold. That's my like argument with Bitcoin. Like people are, what about Litecoin or whatever? Like those are the silvers to Bitcoin's gold. Silver is the silver to gold's gold. And there are periods of time that silver materially doesn't do a lot, but gold does.
I got you, Justin. Okay, man. I wish I was like a little bit more refreshed in this because I looked all of this up. I did heavy research during the stimulus era on this, like every single day. So there's a reason why people prefer silver over gold. Apparently, silver is a much more, I don't want to use the word precious, but there are people who really like silver. Go ahead, Justin.
Well, there's more fundamental value. Like we use silver more,
exactly.
Like sterling silver in real life. So it has more like, I guess, real world commodity usage.
Exactly.
But
So silver's actually used in a lot of things. It's a lot more finite in the comparison to gold. You'll have like silver spoons or like silver, different material. And surprisingly enough, a lot of the value that we get from precious metals goes into really like PC building and like cables and wires too, which is actually really interesting. So when a form of a commodity like this holds more value than just actually being some type of currency that you can give to one another, but actually has like real world applications. That's when multi-functions of it really just make it appealing to many people. I think the highest point though was when we were seeing the stimulus and people were just freaking out, man, because we were pumping so much money. They're like, dude, if the dollar ever does inflate to an like astronomical amount, this was my idea too. It's like, I want to have a couple silver like coins in my room, you know, like if we go into the stages of the movie, like with Denzel Washington, and it's like the apocalypse, the book of Eli,
The Walking Dead.
Yeah, anything like that, man.
I think you want gold, not silver. That's my opinion.
Man, I don't know, man. I'm team silver guy, Justin. I'm team silver, man.
It's much more volatile than gold. So, and there's a lot less gold in the world than silver. So,
guys, comment down below.
In that environment.
Team silver, team gold. What are you? If you can get silver or gold, what would you choose? I'm silver. Justin's gold. Humphrey's palladium.
Lots of palladium usage in a zombie apocalypse.
I don't like the metals as a store of value. I mean, if you want like a store of value, real estate, perhaps Bitcoin, perhaps. But I was never a fan of gold or silver. I mean, but if I had to if I had to choose, probably I would choose gold. Sorry, Brian.
Dang, man. Shoot. Dude, the chat is completely split. I'm seeing silver and gold like just split, dude. Someone said diamond. Yeah. Diamond
so diamonds are the worst. They're
yeah, dude. I was gonna say diamond's the most. That's the one that I probably wouldn't choose, man. You guys need to watch the old documentaries on like blood diamonds and like what diamond actually stands for, y'all. That's why it's not even a thing. Copper's another. What do y'all think about copper? That actually has some really interesting properties where it kills bacteria. If you didn't know,
it's too common. So you can dig infinite amounts out of the ground. The whole point of these things is like scarcity. So you can't find gold. Like there are gold miners and they try their very, very best. And the maximum that we can ever really find ever for like all of history is like 2% a year. And silver, you find it is way more common than gold. And it's so much more common, and that's why. But it's also used a lot more, so it might be in that wash off. But basically, you can't find more gold. Yeah. And with like copper, like you can find an infinite amount of copper. So in terms of store of value, copper to me is just a commodity. So you only buy commodities if you think usage is going to go up. So it's like oil, right? Do you think the pandemic's going to leave and then everybody's going to use gas cars a bunch? Then you should buy oil. If you think that the pandemic's not going to end and everyone's going to move to electric vehicles, then you should sell oil, right? Similar to like that, I think copper is like, do you think copper usage for killing bacteria and I don't know, like, and for copper wire fences is going to go up, then you should buy copper.
Yeah, dude, it's so funny. I'm seeing like comments like vibranium, adamantium, like they're just listing like unreal metals right now. It's like,
I wish I could buy adamantium.
Someone said Nokia. I don't know if they're talking about the indestructible factor of that. But hey guys, we actually have one more guest waiting in the green room right now, and this is a special guest. He was on our show yesterday as well. He is another a serious investor in the angel investing market in San Francisco. Has a YouTube channel as well. A little under 200,000 subscribers. I think 80,000 subscribers at this current moment. So I want to welcome our guest here into the chat, Sebi, the brains of it all. Sebi, what's going on, man?
Hey, good. Thanks for having me back, Brian.
Of course. How's your weekend been going? And could you introduce yourself to the people?
Yeah, definitely. So I run a YouTube channel that's focused on how to get value from banks via credit card rewards. So whether it's cash, whether it's travel to stuff like the Maldives, and how to like maximize that for normal, real people versus thinking about like all the like millionaires and billionaires out there who like can spend the crazy amounts of money. But for normal people, how do we actively do that? And that's the focus. Along with that, I've also worked in tech and have recently been doing a lot more angel investing, mostly trying to find companies that are focused on disrupting big spaces like finance, which I feel like needs to be disrupted. And yeah.
Perfect.
In terms of metals, I would probably pick silver just because it's easier to exchange hands.
Let's go.
Gold, okay. Gold, what are you going to do? If you have to trade for bread, are you going to shave off a little bit of gold for the bread?
Wait, Sebby, turn up your mic. People can't hear you.
Oh, no. Is this better?
A little bit. How is that, chat?
Better? Coming out good for me.
Oh, yeah. I think that's good. Yeah.
Okay. Good.
It sounds
Should
like
I repeat anything?
Oh, now the gain. I think it's peaking a little bit. Okay, it's good. Yeah, it's good.
That's so interesting. Okay. Yeah, what's the price of silver?
Okay. Is it
Oh,
good
yeah.
now?
People say it's great.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yes. Team silver because I think it's more exchangeable in the apocalypse compared to gold.
That's how I see it, man. Like, I can see myself like throwing a couple silver coins to get my meal supply for the week or like my gallon of water to survive. But gold, like, I don't know, man. I know you can do it, but silver, because it's more flexible and like, hey, maybe I if I had like a thing to melt it down, like I could turn it into a survival fork. Like, you know, it's got.
Wait, so Sebby, do you mean like silver is priced at $27 per ounce versus gold is priced at like gold price?
Stupid high. What is it? Thousands?
Let's see. Yeah, $18.50 per ounce. So is it just the shavability of it? Is that basically what the thesis is?
The thesis is around if there is a Mad Max type situation, I think silver is more readily usable than your bar of gold. But yeah. But in terms of a store of value, I guess it depends. Like if you're looking for actual just holding it, I would probably do both in honesty. Like I know a lot of people who are like silver bugs stack like silver coins, but then also add in gold bars. If you're doing like commodities, I guess it's a bit different on that end too.
Anyways, guys, sorry for going off the train on this, on the silver versus gold. We've been seeing a lot of comments regarding silver, and then we brought up other precious metals regarding that category. So if we went a little bit south, I apologize for that. We can begin to retract on it. But guys, thank you so much for tuning by this live. We have 24,962 likes on this video, which is absolutely insane. We're 3.5 hours into this. On the top, just do a little introduction if you guys don't know who we are. On the top left, we have Justin O. He was an ex-hedge fund analyst, or still is, but he has a YouTube channel as well, and he has a blog known as A Couple Cents, where he goes over in depth on a lot of these companies. He's had a lot of experience with other just giant institutions in the past, and you're currently a CFO at a healthcare institution, I believe, right?
Yeah, we're like a software data analytics firm.
Okay, sweet. And then on the top right, we have Humphrey. Absolute man, over 1.5 million followers on TikTok. And yeah, that's the money right there. That's the Benji right there with Humphrey on the top right. You guys, if you guys have what is that? Is that real, bro?
Yeah, it's fake. It's prop money.
Dude, that looks so real until I saw like the pink stuff on it. Yeah, man, guys. Oh yeah, that's the thumbnail money. That's the thumbnail money, guys. So yeah, Humphrey, if you guys have been on TikTok, you've definitely seen Humphrey. I'm sure you're at over like 1 billion impressions by now on that, or even views, man.
Man, I have no idea. I gotta check.
Impressions have to pass the B's, man.
It's a lot though, and it's a little scary because people will say, "Hey, you look familiar," and they don't know where I'm from, and then don't say anything, but some people will come up to me and I think they just know me from TikTok. So yeah, I get a lot of views on TikTok, but yeah, trying to grow that YouTube. So that's why we're here. Thank you, Brian, for having me.
Dude, thank you, man. I really appreciate you guys being on here. And then Sebby here is another angel investor, and and most of y'all know Sebby and me. I'm just me, guys. I don't know nothing. I'm just here. I'm just hosting this live stream. I don't even know how all this happened. So I'm gonna just be straight up. But you know, I got a ton of people watching, and I appreciate that. And I hope you guys don't look to us as like any type of experts or advisors in this space. We're just simply here having these conversations and just hosting a platform for other people to exchange these type of information. So I mean, we've had, guys, the amount of positive energy and the amount of DMs that I'm getting is absolutely insane in terms of how many lives we're changing for this entire movement. Tomorrow's going to be a big day, man. If chat, you guys have any suggestions on what you guys want answered, I'm taking a look at it right now in order to help you guys out. Drop it down below in the comments. And yeah, Sebi, what's up with you though? In the meantime, how you been?
Doing well. I think the weird thing about YouTube and like content creation that a lot of normal people don't realize is that you're kind of always working, which is the tough part. Yeah, I'm debating on re-entering a position in GameStop, which is maybe gonna be interesting on Monday, and then just selling some like covered calls just to like lower my cost basis.
Nice.
How much are those calls going? Like, what's the premium on them nowadays?
So basically, I'm putting in 25,000, but I would be getting 10,000 back per week. So like $100.
And what's the expiration? Oh, $100 per call.
These
Weeklies.
Are weeklies, 400.
Wow.
Like, yeah.
So just to put that in context, to buy them and to break even, these people buying these call options from you would need to GameStop would need to be over $100 after a week, or
Yes.
up over $100 after a week, in order for them to even break even, and so they still get a zero.
Yes, but that's why I'm not buying.
Selling. Yeah, you're the one selling.
I'm trying to sell them. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully they're covered though, right?
Yeah, covered calls.
Okay.
I don't want to be minus $1 million.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can you imagine you sold like naked calls and the thing rips to like 1,200? It'd be insane.
Yeah, I'm pretty much. It would be a very bad time. If that
Okay,
happens.
so guys, I want to point this in a new direction, just so we have like a direct, like an outline of what viewers can expect. If you guys are still watching this now, it's absolutely incredible. But I think tomorrow is going to be the big day. So I want to start wrapping things up. But before I do, I wanted to just answer some important questions, talking about maybe the direction where we can see tomorrow go. Like, do we have any predictions, guys? Like, just on maybe what we should expect to see in the market. And guys, none of this is financial advice. We are all completely wrong. We don't know anything. So, or just don't sue us, okay? So I guess we'll start with this. AMC, GME, and Doge have clearly been the three most popular stocks, cryptocurrencies that people are talking about in the chat. Now we're seeing silver starting to enter into the scene. You know, I made the mistake last time where Doge started to come up and I didn't invest into it, and now silver is the talk of the town. I'm seeing different things where people are saying that silver is actually not available to get right now online either. Like, there's some heavy manipulation going on. We're gonna have to take a look into that a little bit after, or if any of you guys, like Humphrey or any of you guys, see that too, just let me know, because I'm not looking at that right now. So I'm really just navigating this chat in a direction where we do have the ability to answer some of y'all's questions. So let's just talk about predictions for now, and then I'm sure we'll follow up until the wrap up. So who wants to start? Predictions for tomorrow. What you think?
I'm guessing it's going to be a flat week, but I don't think we're going to see a dramatic pullback. I think a lot of people are scared of it just like tanking down to like sub 100, and I think I'm going to be wrong, very wrong, but I think we're in a weird stabilization zone for a bit.
Yeah. I mean, I'll be overly optimistic, but I do expect for things to go up, man. We've been so... Thursday was a big day when we did see that big of a drop, just because of all the manipulation and people unable to buy shares online. with that being said, I feel like Friday was a good taper off, but we still met our goals before the market closed over this weekend. I think moving into Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're going to see a gradual increase on our investments, and that's just going to be the hope. I can't say that this is going to happen for a fact. You guys clearly need to state that this is a prediction, that I could be wrong, but I'm hoping that I'll see my investment on AMC triple. I'm in $20,000 right now. At least a $60,000 profit would be amazing. And I know a lot of people are here just trying to make some money too and trying to get some wins in this movement. So if we continue to see that, I think we're going to see more people adding on to the movement. We're going to see the stocks continue to rise up in this. But I do have to mention that if you don't have an exit plan, it can be quite dangerous in this situation. So know that I do have my limit already set. We went over that earlier in this stream. My limit has been set. So that's what I think, and that's only on behalf of AMC. I know there's a ton of other stocks. I can't speak on the behalf of GME because I'm just not in that position right now. What do you think, Humphrey or Justin?
I'll go. I again, just like these other two said, it's impossible to know. You can never know. I mean, maybe Monday a bunch of people have to do a report for work and don't get the chance to buy. My bias, my hope is that they keep going up because I really love the show. I'm here for it. I bought some AMC and I bought some Dogecoin just for fun. It's a little too late for me in the game on GameStop. I really like Sebi's selling $100 weekly call options strategy. I think that's pretty awesome. I think I'm biased towards the market or these stocks specifically going down. Unless something came out today that I haven't seen while we were streaming, it seems like Robinhood is going to continue to restrict and expand restrictions to 50 stocks, which means that people can't buy as much as they want to buy. So if you're limiting buys, then the opposite should happen, is it should maybe fall. And then but I hope not. I really hope not. I hope people can go to a different like Fidelity and just buy a bunch there. And I think if we do go up, I think the thing that will go up has the probably better upside reward versus the risk. If you're just playing the hype, right, is probably AMC. So I'm rooting for you. On
Let's
the AMC
go AMC to the moon.
Because the reason is the mental goal of Wall Street Bets was to get GameStop to 1,000. AMC doesn't have the mental goal, but will pump when everybody pumps. And I also think because people have put Robinhood has either explicitly or implicitly put the kibosh on buying on GameStop. I think now you have a diversification of the focus. You can even see it in the chat. Most chatters right now are saying AMC, and if not, it's like I see very little GME, and I see AMC, Dogecoin, and Nokia, and some of these other Blackberries. So I mean, I don't know. It's just a predict. If something's going to return the most, probably AMC if it goes up. But I'm fearful of a down leg just because you still have the trading restrictions and what you called market manipulation.
Yeah. I like that. So far, we got Sebi with a stabilization, me with a positive, optimistic look of an increase, and then Justin, a possible downturn. Humphrey, where do you stand in this? You may be the majority splitter.
So according to, there's a financial screener called finviz.com. GameStop shares are still 121% short interest. And now it's down from 138%. So I think that a lot of the Wall Street Bets people that held GameStop early on are still hoping for this short squeeze to happen. I know that the whale friends that I do have that hold GameStop are still all holding. Some of them have sold off 20% just to lock in a profit, but some of them have actually bought more actually on Friday. And then I also know that Wall Street Bets added about 4 million subscribers or 4 million community members to Wall Street Bets in the last 3 days or since Wednesday or whatever it was. And my guess is that AMC is being pumped so much in chat and in Wall Street Bets because maybe these people felt like they were too late on the train to GameStop, right? You already had GameStop trading at $300 a share when all these Wall Street Bets people, new Wall Street Bets members kind of joined in. So now you have people that want to get in on something, but maybe they were priced out of GameStop or thought, okay, maybe that's already too high. And obviously you have people holding the line, but you also have people just trying to make money, as evidenced by the data of the trading shares last week. As we said earlier in this stream, it's closer to 50-50 buys and sells on GameStop. So as of Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So that's what I think is going to happen. Oh, so tomorrow, I think actually, since Robinhood's 2-day settlement period is going to be over tomorrow, I do think they're going to allow more trades to happen, but still be restricted. I think that the market might take that as a positive sign, and you might see a little bit of a bump in GameStop or AMC or both. But I don't think it's going to be like plus 400% or anything like that. I'm a little bit more with Sebi. Like what we saw on Friday is probably going to be more indicative. I can't say that word, of what happens tomorrow, which is maybe it kind of just trades flat with a little bit of a bump. That's all I know. That's all I'm thinking right now. But correct me if I'm wrong on the short interest of 122%. I can link it to you, Brian, but that's what I see on the stock screener right now.
That sounds about right. And then the other consideration is that there's a lot of people who are new to trading who just set up their Robinhood account last week, but then they don't have the funds to deploy until maybe this week. So that kind of changes the equation as well. Just because like you need time to transfer money in, it takes time. And then for people moving to other platforms like Webull, that also takes time. So like they might be like, okay, I want to buy AMC on Webull, but I don't because of limits over on Robinhood. But like that whole process.
Sorry, I had to put that in there. I literally did that by accident. So I was like, hold on, what just happened?
Agreed, Sebi, agreed.
All right, guys, we're right under 20.
I think AMC does have more room to run, though. Like, even if you just look at like the market cap, like this is kind of weird in our current situation. But like GameStop's market cap is like 20 billion, AMC's is like 5 billion. So you could argue if AMC gets to the level of GameStop, there's still like 4x room.
Sweet. Alrighty, guys. Thank you all so much for the views today. We got 19,000 people currently watching this live stream with 25,000 likes. I would say that is a pretty successful day. I actually started this live streaming looking for the goal of 25,000 likes on this for today. I'm sure if we went on for the next 4 to 5 hours, we could probably get to the 50,000 mark on this. But I think we're going to save the rest for tomorrow morning. And, Justin, Humphrey, Sebi, thank you guys so much for joining. Justin, you've been on for a very long time. Humphrey is you as well, too. So, guys, that has been absolutely crazy. Sebi, I know we got like a sponsorship lined up in the future. I don't know if you want to necessarily disclose that now because we're kind of working it out with like other companies where they can just get like a little logo on one of these or something. So we've been saving that. I'm not sure. Should we talk about that now or should we disclose that? Like,
okay, we can do one now. Brian has a link for Yada Savings. He'll put it down below for himself. Yada Savings is this new bank. The idea being that, or I guess it's this new financial institution. The idea is that most bank accounts only pay you something like 0.01% when you think of Bank of America, Chase, all these other big places. And instead here, it's actually more of a competitive rate. It's closer to about 2%. And the whole idea is that a lot of people don't save money because they don't see the point and they'd rather invest in the stock market or YOLO it into lottery tickets. This takes that whole concept and it's a no risk lottery. So the idea is that instead of paying you that like tiny sliver of interest, it's effectively a lottery ticket to win more money. And so they still have a pretty interesting pool feature, which makes it like more equitable to people. So similar to how coworkers buy lottery tickets. Yeah. In absolute worst case, use Brian's link, check it out, see if you like it. But I think it makes saving money fun, which is very cool.
Yeah, to me, I've always enjoyed investing my money, right? And I feel like it's important to have some type of savings or checkings account. And this right here, Okay, and I first want to mention like Justin and Humphrey. If you guys didn't know about this, I'm sorry because this was kind of like a last minute thing too. But yeah, the Yada thing is something that I've been looking into for quite a bit right now as well. And it's just a savings account where instead of putting your money in a traditional account where you make like 0.2% interest, you can get lottery tickets that can win you more additional money. So essentially, the APY at the end of the year is significantly higher. I don't use any savings accounts other than this one, and that's only because the other ones just don't make enough ROI sense of like 0.1% or whatever it is right now. So that's the only mention that we wanted to do before checking out. But I did want to give some huge plugs, and if you guys have any call to actions for the audience too, definitely go ahead. But I'm gonna leave the mic to y'all right here.
If you want any credit cards, if you want to basically get value from banks for money that you're already spending, don't overspend, to take cool trips, to get extra cash back, to pay your student loans or tuition, check out my channel, Ask Sebi. And yeah.
Humphrey?
Just follow me on YouTube. I would appreciate it. I'm trying to get to 100,000 subs here, then 1 million, then 10 million, then PewDiePie. So see you later.
Let's go. And then Justin, what you got for the people?
Yeah, thanks everyone. I appreciate you having me on here, Brian. It's just such an awesome thing, and hopefully you'll have me tomorrow as well. Tomorrow should be really interesting. But if you guys,
tomorrow will be
tomorrow's
crazy,
gonna be crazy.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you guys want to just kind of learn and follow along and maximize your investing returns, long-term investing returns with some of the research that I do, I'm a couple cents. Link in the description is my YouTube channel. I'm trying to get to where Humphrey is, and somewhere like the 70 to 80,000 subscriber mark. And if you want to go even deeper, we do premium research. You can see all my favorite stock picks and the paper portfolio I manage for the community. Meet other really good long-term investors that are generally tech oriented at acouplecents.com, and specifically acouplecents.com/signup. You can kind of choose your own adventure. We do a free daily email newsletter called Morning Sense, which is completely free that you can sign up. We use MailChimp. Or you can kind of do the full thing and support the content. So anything, basically all you got to do is search. I'm on all the social media platforms. We all follow Humphrey's. He's the godfather of finance TikTok. He has 1.5 million subscribers on I
think you
TikTok,
are the biggest finance TikToker, right? TikTok.
By far. I have only 250,000 and not barely under 250,000.
Yeah.
So, but I'm a couple cents everywhere. So TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, but mostly like Humphrey, I think we all find it best to do long-term stuff, like long form, deeper content on YouTube.
So guys, all their information is all listed down below in the description. Sebi, if I've not updated yours, because I don't remember if I have, his channel is just Ask Sebi. So ask, not ass, because that YouTube algorithm always messes him up. Ask Sebi, okay? And then I also have the Yada link pinned in the comment section right there if you guys want to check it out, and you'll get some free tickets on your way as well as that. There's no account minimum fee, I believe, so you're not going to be paying anything if you don't have anything in there. So that's just free money to you guys as well. Thank you, boys, for coming on. People are noting that I think who's the other politician? The Asian one, Andrew Yang. So Andrew Yang is also apparently going live on his YouTube. I hope that you guys continue to educate yourself. And if he is, that's going to be a very interesting time. So make sure you guys go watch our boy Andrew Yang. And we'll be back on tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. for the market open, 8:30 a.m. guys. So the reminder has already been set on my channel. I might do something real interesting too, where that video might do something really cool. So subscribe right now to the channel and catch us tomorrow morning, 8:30 a.m. Eastern time. That is going to be very early on the West Coast, and I really apologize for that. But if you guys do happen to be on air, that'll just be awesome if you guys join us there too. So thank you all so much again for watching this live. Appreciate it. 8:30 a.m. Eastern time tomorrow. Okay. Alrighty, guys. Thank you all so much again for everything. Thank you to the boys in here, and peace out. Peace, 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 awkward, peace, 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 and a peace.